The weapons designed that they're purchasing are designed as weapons of war to take out an enemy.
Vice President Harris.
We have passed a law that will make communities around our nation safer.
The legislation backs mental health services for communities and schools and includes grants for states to implement crisis intervention programs, along with expanded background checks. Reproductive Freedom for All delivers a petition to the Michigan Secretary of State in an attempt to amend the state constitution on the midterm ballot. Campaign spokesperson Shanae Watson-Whitaker.
The number of signatures show that here in Michigan, we trust women, we trust people. We trust doctors, not politicians.
If the ballot measure is backed by voters, it would codify abortion access into law in Michigan. Cars are costing more whether buying new or maintaining the one you've got. Fox's Madison Allworth at an auto repair shop in New Jersey.
A year ago, a catalytic converter cost this shop $267. Today, this one that they recently bought, $540. And that's because it's filled with precious metals and getting your hands on that is difficult.
Well, it's pretty much everything across the board.
Peyton, the owner of Knight's Automotive Repair.
I used to do an engine job installed for about $4,500. Now that job's $9,500.
On average, cars are on the road for 12 years. That's the longest we've ever seen cars on the road.
CarMax reports the average cost of a used car is up about 28% compared to last year. America's listening to Fox News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
This afternoon shaping up to be the hottest of the work week. Sunny skies, it's hot, it's humid, 94 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear. Temperatures low 90s this evening, 72 for the low on Tuesday. Sunny, slightly less humid, 90 degrees for the high on Tuesday. So much of the afternoon Tuesday in the 80s, keeping it in the 80s Wednesday and Thursday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Look, we've got a city and a board of aldermen that has turned around within 2 weeks and prioritized $1 million to send women to Illinois for abortions. And we don't hear about crime or solutions for that. I think the people in the city realize that that's bunk. I don't care if you're pro-life or pro-choice. That is not a priority that should exist right now. I guess the progressives think it should, but people are worried about crime and paying their bills.
The Mark Reardon Show. Weekdays from 3 to 6.
When you are looking for someone to guide you through the process of buying a piece of jewelry, of course, that's a bit of an investment. Sometimes it's a really big investment. Sometimes it might be $50. But for you in that moment in time, it's definitely an investment. You want to make sure that your dollar is going to get you quality, which is why you choose the Diamond Shop. They're in Clayton. They've been there since 1910. These people know what they're doing. They have weathered all of the storms that have come through in over 100 years of treating people from all over the St. Louis area with the very best customer service and the top quality jewelry that you are seeking out. You want somebody you can trust. For my family, for my husband, for myself, both of us have made purchases at the Diamond Shop in Clayton. And we go there because we trust them. They are kind. It is like a family-owned and operated business, and they have a great sale going on right now. If you visit the Diamond Shop, you can see their in-stock jewelry right now, 70% off in-stock jewelry until the end of July. Save money with great quality jewelry and the kindest people in the business at the Diamond Shop. Located in Clayton, you can find them online right now at thediamondshop.net.
That's Mike Carter. It's ridiculous the United States had to use the military to airlift in baby formula from overseas, or that our car plants like GM and Wentzville and Toyota and Lincoln County have to slow production for microchips to come from China. I'm Mike Carter, Republican candidate for state Senate, and I'm ready to help bring manufacturing jobs home. We need to encourage critical products to be manufactured here in the United States and bring those jobs to Missouri. Bringing manufacturing back home reduces transportation costs, supply chain problems, and reduces the risk of China being able to use that dependence as a weapon. We also need to do a better job of promoting all our state has to offer. Let's help our businesses and industries to expand, make it easy for new business startups, and help our tremendous agricultural industry with better farm-to-market, roads, bridges, and inland port facilities. As your state senator, I'll launch a Make It in Missouri initiative because America can't continue to rely on China. Go to MikeCarter.com or MakeItInMissouri.com. Paid for by Team Mike Carter Treasurer.
Hi, this is Curtis Barks. I am the owner of Complete Auto Body and Repair, here to tell you about our touchless automotive service. If you're experiencing the constant struggles of having the kids home from school or just want more of that family time where you can listen to them teach you about what they do every day, we provide touchless automotive service, return the vehicle to you clean and ready to go in the comfort of your own home. Check us out online at CompleteAB.com for more information. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
Can you fix the car?
Would you like a cleaning product that can be used in the garage, the laundry, and the kitchen, and save space in your cabinet? Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. To learn more, visit us at simplegreen.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
Anytime is a smart speaker time. Hey Alexa, hey Siri. Stream 97.1 by command. It's easy, and it's free. Right here. 97.1 FM Talk. Right here, right now.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Happy Monday. Welcome to the Annie Frey Show. Thanks for being here with us today. We've got Hannah. She's back from vacation. Hi, Hannah. How are you?
Hello. Good.
Did you have a good vacation?
I had a great vacation.
Fantastic. So we've got Hannah is going to be running the board. We've talked about this before in studio on Mondays and Fridays. And Brad is working in the back to do all the other production stuff that he does on a daily basis. But just to get everybody familiarized, because next week Brad takes off, right?
Yep.
And hopefully comes back. So we want to make sure that everybody knows how to do everything. So, but we will have everybody in and out throughout the course of the day. But Hannah is back, and we are very grateful for that. I was looking at Fox News this morning, watching Fox News and taking in kind of the like 30,000 foot view picture of what's going on in the country right now. And I've done this YouTube live chat poll multiple times, and I almost put it up again today. And I was like, gosh, I don't know. I don't know. But here's a question for you folks. What is the biggest issue facing the United States of America today? And the reason why I say this is because I can make a valid argument for about 6 or 7 completely different, separate issues that are facing this country right now that are a disaster. Crime is the one that I see these stories. I mean, think about all, we're here in St. Louis. This is our home base. Think about the stories that are covered on our local TV news outlets every single night that we don't even, people, it's just part of the fabric of living in St. Louis now. We're voted the most dangerous city on a regular basis. It's one of the things that we excel at, or whatever the opposite of excel is. A complete and total devaluation of life. You talk about being pro-life. You talk about valuing life. And generally speaking, that is a conversation that is centered around the unborn child. And we can get into a whole host of different kinds of conversations with that as well. But let's talk about the people who are right now within like actual shouting distance of my voice. If I were to go, I'm in downtown St. Louis, if I were to go out and, be able to holler, how many people who could hear me in that moment would potentially be living on a regular basis in some sort of dangerous society or community. And it's just accepted as the norm when you live in a place like St. Louis or like Chicago or any of these major cities that tend to be probably more than 9 out of 10 times by far left Democrats. When you package together the policies of a political party that has acquired and expanded their political power by identifying a new victim and playing upon the goodwill and the emotion of people exactly like you, which is to say that the people who are out there who commit specific types of crimes, violent crimes, or theft, or robbery, or armed robbery and assault, just add on as you go. When you look at all of these different people, you're not supposed to look at the crime. Why? Because the crime devalues the person. The crime is the inanimate object. The crime is the story that gets printed on paper and in simple words. What about that human? Tell me the story about that human. It's ironic to me that we have such an emphasis in these far left controlled cities on understanding the plight and the hardships and the consequences and the circumstances that have all led into why this person committed the crime. The crime is a byproduct of something else that is wrong, and we're supposed to completely focus on the other things that are wrong that led that person to commit that crime, which is why you and I are supposed to have the patience and, more than patience, the self-reflection as to how you might have contributed to the person who committed the crime that they now want to advocate they don't have to do any time for. Oh, but wait. Apply that same theory to, air quotes, gun, end quote, violence that exists across the entire country. Then it is completely and totally about the inanimate object. How do you know? Generally speaking, when you listen to the politicians and you listen to the way that they descend upon these specific types of news stories that are super hyper local, where crime is existing every single day as a just accepted reality in beautiful cities across the United States. For some reason, when it comes to gun violence in certain areas or certain kinds of gun violence, now we find ourselves blaming the inanimate object because that becomes the most politically expedient thing for the people who are in power. Gun violence is taking place across the entire country. But why is it that we are not looking at the people who are committing these crimes and learning about them so that we can use that information in order to make a better tomorrow? We do this in Los Angeles, where you've got a DA there that doesn't want to... there's barely anything that he wants to prosecute. And everybody's story that leads them into a position where they are somehow or another pushed into a life of crime. We're supposed to be not focused in the crimes that these people choose to commit. We're supposed to talk about that word pushed into a life of crime. Because you know what? Guess what? I know this is going to come as a shock to you. You pushed them. It's on you. And we got to look at ourselves and we got to ask ourselves, what did we do to push these people? And the worst sin of it all is if you weren't aware that you were doing the pushing. And yes, that worst sin of all is still in the context of where this whole conversation started, which is somebody committed a crime. That somebody went into society and chose to prioritize themselves and their immediate wants and desires over any idea of any right that you might have: life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, all of those which were given to you by your creator, not the government. And if the government didn't give them to you, then the government sure as heck cannot take them away. That's the point of that sentence. We see with our own two eyes, as we are trying to live a pretty moderate American Midwestern existence here in the St. Louis area. You look across the entire country and you see with your own two eyes and the few brain cells that I might have to rub together, and probably even more that you have to rub together, you see how crime is overtaking these cities. And then the obvious, anybody with a thinking brain in their head looks to the leaders in the law enforcement and says, what are you going to do about this? And you say that because you want to be able to visit Times Square in New York City. You want to be able to visit Southern California. You want to be able to visit some of the most beautiful cities that our country has built out of nothing. Chicago, Illinois, St. Louis, Missouri. You want to be able to partake in all of these different places and enjoy them. But if you watch the news, it's a little too intimidating to take in. A woman pushing her stroller in New York City shot. A 14-year-old stabbed on the subway this weekend. People robbing stores in broad daylight on the Magnificent Mile. Theft, drugs, violence, abuse, it's everywhere. And the left has somehow or another perverted the entire situation to make you the perpetrator of the problem. And what you need to understand is that has nothing to do with solving a problem that they believe will persist in giving them power. So who's the grossest of all of these people involved in this situation? Is it the people who are the criminals? Is it the people who pushed these people into a life of crime? Is it the law enforcement that has to go in to any of these individual circumstances in a lawless society and enforce a law that nobody who has the ability to litigate these laws in a courtroom is going to want to even enforce? So it makes their entire existence fruitless and dangerous. Is it the average American citizen who's just trying to mind their own business, to go to work, to provide an independently owned and operated lifestyle in the greatest country in the United States, as the United States of America, on the face of the planet? And when they think that to themselves, they might even for a moment feel a little bit ashamed, thinking that America is a great country. Who's the grossest person in all of us? It's the politician that knows psychologically that the way for them to retain power is to appropriate people into subsections of demographics. You know, gosh, like I said this last week, if I hear one more thing about the suburban mom who just stumbles upon the gas station, is in awe of the sky-high gas prices on that and the hot dogs and macaroni and cheese that they have to feed their 2.5 kids for in their 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath home. Those suburban moms, you know, they're looking a little frustrated with this administration right now. That spells trouble. Hell no, the gas prices spell trouble. The crime spells trouble. The fact that we have a border that's under surge, bringing drugs across the southern border that we fear as suburban moms are going to somehow infiltrate our children's lives in the least suspecting moment when our kid decides to do something a little bit rebellious and it ends up killing them. You see those stories taking place all over the country right now. We turn on the television and everything that you put on the television for your kid, you're fearing the fact that there's somebody in there trying to interject something that's going to make sure that they really get to your kid around you. Everywhere you look right now, normal, average Americans of every race, color, income, creed, lifestyle choice, it doesn't matter what boxes you check on a medical form or on a political survey. These people want you to know that the most important thing is keeping them in power. And if you've got Republicans doing the same thing, you need to check them and get rid of them and replace them. This is a bipartisan problem where we have big government politicians who have found their way into cozy, comfortable leather chairs in high places in local government, state government, federal government, and their most important goal is staying there. Well over your important goal of being safe when you're walking your kid on the street, pushing them in a stroller, or feeling like you can afford to feed your family of 5, or feeling like you can get to and from work in a safe transport, or figuring out how you are going to be able to make ends meet when you know that recession is just around the corner. Don't be blinded into the emotional wear your heart on the sleeve weakness that they know that you have somewhere, and if they just tap the right issue, they'll get you. Because you don't want to feel like a bad person. You want to be emotionally sensitive. You want to be open-minded. You want to be able to feel like you're doing what you can and caring for other people. And politicians have sold that as currency to you and your state of mind, your judgment of your own character by checking a Democrat on a ballot. And Republicans who want to reverse that and say that if you vote Republican, you'll have your character and your morals back, I'd question that too. All of your morality, your character, your moral compass, you know in your life what sets that for you. You know where you're coming from in your life that should guide you. For a lot of people, it's religion. For a lot of people, it's not. But in 2022, especially about 120 days away from the midterm elections, the politicians want politicians to be your religion. They want your Republican uniform to be your religion. They want your Democrat uniform to be your religion. Don't buy into that. I know you're smart enough not to anyway. When we come back, we're going to talk to Mark Krikorian. He's the executive director for the Center for Immigration Studies. And we have seen the Biden administration and the Abbott administration in Texas going back and forth, trading barbs over what in the world is going on the Texas border. We've been talking about this for years now. How is it going to get fixed? Is it going to get fixed? Does it even need to get fixed? Well, let's ask Mark Krikorian in just a minute. Don't go away.
Been a hell of a ride, but I'm thinking it's time to go.
Here we go.
So put your best face on, everybody pretend you know this song. Everybody come hang. Let's go out with some bang. I'm way too young to lie here forever.
This is a place for people to come together. Right here, right now. Make your voice heard. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
So when you're thinking about losing weight, for me, that's always been, I've had 4 babies. I went through COVID. Did you go through COVID? And by COVID, I mean like 2 years of being told to stay in your house. Some of us did that a little bit more than others, but a lot of people put on weight. And you are, if you're like me, have said, I am over this, I am done with this, and I want to move past this. Slim 180 helped me lose over 22 pounds in a month. And I've kept it off. I've kept it off through a vacation week. I have kept it off by following their plan and living my life in a way that is adherent to what they taught me to, but also cognizant of the new lifestyle changes that I have implemented. You can go to Slim 180 and save a bunch of money right now on a plan, 35% off all programs. Their HCG full program, which is what I did to lose those over 22 pounds. They have a Crave, Regenerate, and a nutritional program that will help guide you through the lifestyle challenges that might be facing you, but it's customized to you. And when you go see the people at Sim 180, say, I heard about you on the Annie Frey Show. I'd like to save some money. I'd like to lose the weight. You can say, what did she do? And they'll tell you. You can say, what can I do? And they'll tell you. And you can put your hands and your weight loss in people who are going to get you lasting results. I stand by that. I did it myself. You can find all the information online at myslim180.com.
We thought it was over.
Missouri Republican Governor Eric Greitens has just resigned this afternoon.
Scandal after scandal.
Already facing a felony charge, now accused of a second felony.
Now there's more about Eric Greitens.
Former Missouri governor is now accused of spousal abuse and intimidation.
In a sworn affidavit, Eric Greitens' former wife said,
I became afraid for my safety and that of our children due to Eric's unstable and coercive behavior. Physical violence toward our children, cuffing our then 3-year-old son across the face, yanking him around by his hair, a swollen face, bleeding gums, and a loose tooth. He said Dad had hit him. I wanted to protect our children because I was afraid of what Eric would do.
Scandals, felony charges, now physical abuse allegations. That's not conservative, but it's the real Eric Greitens. Paid for by Show Me Values PAC, showmevalues.org, and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Show Me Values PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
AA MCO.
Refresh your home's exterior and enjoy it all summer with Menards' huge selection of concrete landscape blocks. There's no limit to what you can create, from patios, retaining walls, fire pits, and more. Visit your local Menards or menards.com to get a free estimate today. Save 11% on everything for your next project now at Menards. Good through July 17th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Hello, this is Dave Walker, former Comptroller General of the United States. The federal government has grown dramatically, promised too much, lost control of its budget, and must restructure its finances in order to create a better future.
I agree, Dave. This is Ken Heisey from Heisey Advisory Group, and you're invited to a special event on Thursday, August 25th. Dave and I will talk about our country's financial issues and how they may impact your retirement. Learn why it's critical to take action now and discover strategies that can help protect your future. If you've saved at least $750,000 for retirement, call 314-328-6000 to register for this special event. After a decades-long mission to promote fiscal responsibility at all levels of government, you won't want to miss what Dave has to say. Call 314-328-6000.
Dave Walker is not affiliated with and does not endorse Heisey Advisory Group or AE Wealth Management, LLC. Heisey Advisory Group may not provide tax advice and is not affiliated with the U.S. government. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
.com.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Well, Griff, this is just another, example of the state of Texas and Governor Greg Abbott taking unprecedented action right now to help secure the border, because we have taken on the responsibility to secure the border because the federal government fails to do so. And another, executive order that the governor initiated is now to actually, when we come across these immigrants, we're actually going to bus them to the ports of entry, to the nearest ports of entry, and then release them to U.S. Border Patrol. Unfortunately, we don't have the operational authority to enforce immigration law and actually deport these immigrants back. Of course, if we did, then of course we'd make a significant impact if we're able to do so. But again, every challenge, everything that the governor has been able to do from the start of Operation Lone Star, from all these different initiatives, expanding border operations, he has always constantly been challenged by the federal government.
So when you are looking at the southern border, and if you, like me, identify a massive problem taking place there, you got to ask what's being done. And when you hear that everything that is proposed or applied is getting pushed back regularly, convincingly so, from the federal government, then the problem, of course, never gets solved. Let's talk to Mark Krikorian about it, the executive director for the Center for Immigration Studies. Mark, welcome back to the Frey Show. Thank you for being here. I mean, you can't solve a problem if you don't identify it as a problem, and it just seems like that's what the federal government is doing here.
Oh, absolutely. The administration does not consider this a problem. That's why DHS does not believe that its job is to deter people from crossing illegally, to stop them from crossing illegally. Secretary Mayorkas, the head of Homeland Security, on TV was challenged by a reporter who actually, some journalism broke out on TV, and they said, so is it the objective of the Biden administration to reduce illegal crossing? He would not say that that's what it was. He said their objective, their goal was to process people more quickly into the United States. That's about as clear as it gets.
I want to play for you because I want to know, I want to give you the opportunity to kind of explain to us what's going on between Governor Abbott, specifically in Texas, and the Biden administration. But I also want to play for you this clip from Kamala Harris on Face the Nation this weekend.
I would suggest that so-called leaders focus on solutions instead of attacks if they really are concerned about a problem, so that we can have a humane and appropriate approach to this issue, including, of course, what we will continue to do in terms of prioritizing border security, but understanding we also need to create a pathway. And that's where I think everyone should be focused if they're actually concerned about solutions instead of flame throwing.
So solutions, Mark Krikorian, that are giving us humane outcomes. How's the administration, the Biden administration specifically, doing on humanely treating these people who want to cross our border?
Well, they see that. They see humanely treating people who are illegally crossing the border as moving them into the United States more quickly and efficiently without too much fuss or bother. That's not the job of the federal government. The federal government's job is to reduce and hopefully prevent people crossing illegally. And there's all kinds of solutions to the problem. What that would involve, though, in this administration is changing its policies fundamentally. For instance, federal law requires every illegal border crosser who makes some kind of asylum claim or claim of fear, requires them to either be detained the whole time that their proceedings are going on or be made to wait in Mexico. And this administration is literally letting hundreds of thousands of people just let it go into the United States. They consider that humane treatment. I consider that lawbreaking by the administration.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people in Texas certainly feel that way as well. See, my understanding is that Governor Abbott of Texas has decided to push the issue a little bit more and try to take more matters into his own hands. What is Governor Abbott doing in Texas to try to push back on this?
They're doing a number of things. I mean, the sound clip that you had played, it said one of the things they're doing is taking people that they catch, illegal aliens that they arrest for state crimes, like trespassing or something. And if they don't want to prosecute them, in other words, they're not drug dealers, they just grab them for trespassing, they're taking them to the ports of entry and pointing toward Mexico. Now, they don't have to go. They can just say, yeah, no, sorry, I'm not going. And there's not much Texas can do about it. But some of them will probably return. They're also arresting them, like I said, arresting them for state crimes. What they do is they get permission from a landowner on the border that they can arrest, that state police can arrest people who are trespassing on their property. And if the DA in that county, because it's up to the DAs, prosecutes, then, they could get 30 days in jail or something like that. But again, the problem is, if they do their 30 days in jail, then what? Because ICE won't take them in custody. Under this administration, not allowed to. So the Governor Abbott is doing they're coming up with imaginative ways of responding, but there's a limit to what any state government can do if the federal government is dead set on not enforcing the border. The root cause of this border crisis is sitting in the Oval Office, and it's not going to change until that changes.
Yeah, for sure. We're speaking with Mark Krikorian, the Executive Director, Center for Immigration Studies. You can go to CIS.org to learn more about what the center is doing. I'm looking at this report from Fox News that says that 161,000 kids could cross the border this year. And then I'm going back to even when President Trump was in office, but we were talking about the Dreamers, we were talking about DACA. And I remember when Obama was putting this together, the thing about the Dreamers, the kids who were brought here under, somebody else's authority, or they came into this country not because of their own fruition. What we were told when they were trying to pass this is, hey, this is a finite group of people. And it was somewhere around, 700,000 individuals who came here, have made their whole life here. They don't really know anything other than here because they came here as children. And you're telling me right now that 161,000 kids are going to be coming into this country just this year alone? That seems to me to have exponentially ramped up.
Oh, absolutely. And that's only the ones that are so-called unaccompanied, which itself is a misnomer because their parents in the U.S. are illegal aliens and they pay smugglers to bring them up to the border. Then they step across the border without their parents, without the smugglers, and magically, legally, they become unaccompanied. And there's this special status in federal law where we were so-called unaccompanied minors, some of whom aren't even minors, frankly. We're not allowed to check. Are delivered at taxpayer expense to their parents or other relatives in the U.S. who paid to have them smuggled in the first place. So, and then there's all kinds of illegal immigrant adults who bring kids with them as a ticket to being released, which is, it's not guaranteed, but it's pretty close to guaranteed. So there's actually way more young people, way more kids than even that number who are coming across, in any given year. So this is an enormous problem, and I guarantee you, next year, you're going to see the Democrats saying, well, we have to give all of these people green cards, too, because they're here now, and they've made a life, and so we have to let them stay.
What the expense to the taxpayer, which has, I guess, to your point, we don't even really know. We don't even really know the full numbers, the statistics of who's here, where they've gone, since they've been put in places across the country and trafficked by the government across the country to have their homes when they get off the charter bus or whatever it is that they've ridden to be delivered into our communities. The expense to the people who are working hard right now to make ends meet in an economically savaged country seems to me like there is a huge reckoning facing the American people, both in lifestyle and culture, but mostly economically.
Yeah, nobody wants to know what the number is. You have to, school systems will have to give you the information. They refuse. We've tried to do some of that stuff. Sometimes you can, but generally speaking, they don't want to know, and they sure as heck don't want you to know what the cost is, to school systems, to all kinds of things. Even welfare. Now, most illegals are not eligible for most welfare, but once a lot of these illegal immigrant families come in, a lot of the women are pregnant, so they have kids here. The Border Patrol, sometimes they have actually guys on, maternity duty where they take them to the hospitals on the border to give birth. Those kids then are eligible for welfare. So there's a significant costs all around. Again, it's not like the number is being hidden because nobody wants to know what the number is. It hasn't even been generated yet, and there's no way to get the data because this administration is incredibly uncooperative in trying to give people information about what it's doing.
We're speaking with Mark Krikorian at the Center for Immigration Studies. Last question before we let you go, Mark. I'm going to speak with Stephen Moore about this in regards to the economy in the next hour. But people are predicting a massive red wave in November, and that will give us 2 years of a Republican-controlled Congress, potentially in both houses. But President Biden, or whomever the Democrat is that's in charge at that time, will still be there to veto any bill that gets passed by Congress. Does this red wave affect anything in this regard, the security of our southern border? Can a red wave actually make that better when a Democrat is still in the presidency?
It can make it a little. First of all, if the Democrats are in power, it's definitely worse. So having Republican majority at the very least can serve as a kind of backstop or obstacle to what the Democrats in the administration are doing. So absolutely, it's better than the alternative. But there are two concrete ways that a Republican Congress could try to limit what the administration is doing. They can't stop it, but there are some things they can do. The first thing is power of the purse, where they say they can pass funding bills that say, look, you cannot spend money on X, Y, and Z. If you do, you go to jail. Congress has that authority, and the president can, of course, veto those bills. That's where you get this government shutdown fights, that sort of thing. But that's one area where a Republican Congress, if that's what happens, can exercise control. And the other one is oversight, which is to say they subpoena administration officials for hearings, and they have to swear an oath to tell the truth, and then they grill them. Again, the administration can kind of fight with that and push back, but that's the other big area that a Republican Congress could have an effect. Again, though, the root cause is in the White House. And so whether it's the states or whether it's Republican congressmen, if they get a majority, they can do something, but it's mainly at the edges. Ultimately, you got to change the executive in order to change the policy.
Yep. And as you said, if you choose not to change the control of the legislature in the process, it can get much worse, even from where we are right now. Mark Krikorian, a pleasure to have you on the show today. Thank you for your time. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Anytime.
Absolutely. Executive Director, Center for Immigration Studies. And you can go to CIS.org for more information about what they're doing to try to bring to light the truth of what's taking place in the southern border. Quick break. When we come back, we are going to talk about with Ryan Wiggins. He's going to be back in studio for Wiggins America, the first of the week, and I'm sure it will be riveting, just grabbing radio when we come back. I'm going to set the bar really, really high, so he has to swing for the fences. Stick around. Ryan Wiggins back in studio with us here in just a minute. And on the break, can you vote in the YouTube live chat poll? Are you a Trump Republican? Yes, no, or I'm not a Republican. You might absolutely not be a Republican, and I wanted to make sure that you had the opportunity to weigh in as well. You can go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel, and right there is where you can vote in the live chat section of the video that you're watching right now as we broadcast live. I'm waving to you. Hello. And give us a comment if you so choose as to why you voted the way you did. We'll be back in just a minute. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show.
I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes.
The Mark Reardon Show.
The word hello has only been around since 1883.
What? Are you going to throw a flag on this one, Mark?
No,
Yeah,
do not throw a flag. Okay, go ahead and look it up.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
I don't know when July 4th became the okay, summer's about over date, because that's what everybody starts saying after July 4th. But maybe it's because school starts so much earlier into August than it used to. That's probably why. But what's going to happen is we're going to get back into a new schedule starting in a little over a month from now, maybe a little bit longer. Think about summer ending, and then we're going to forget to do the stuff that we need to do, which is like getting your teeth cleaned. I suggest doing that now. Not just because of summer. It has nothing to do with summer. It has everything to do with the fact that you can get appointments so much easier right now than you can going into fall and before the end of the year when everybody's trying to use up their benefits. And these are things that a lot of times you do have to schedule out. So I suggest calling now. Call Fountains Family Dentistry, Fairview Heights, Illinois, and they can get you in, like I always say, early appointments and late appointments, depending on the day. And that's all for your convenience. So do that now. FountainsFamilyDentistry.com. You can make an appointment right there online or give them a call. FountainsFamilyDentistry.com.
Donate your car to Goodwill and get 4 free tickets to Six Flags. Ride the greats like the Screaming Eagle or hang out at Hurricane Harbor. Donating a car to Goodwill is easy. Towing is free, and you'll get a tax receipt. For more information or to donate online, visit mersgoodwill.org. Use promo code Six Flags. Hurry while supplies last. Give hope. Give local. Give Goodwill.
This is Judge Mike Carter. As the judge of Wentzville and an attorney, I've had the honor of working with Lincoln County Prosecutor Mike Wood and St. Charles Prosecutor Tim Lomar. We all share a great respect for the rule of law and keeping our families and communities safe. As your next Republican state senator, I'll oppose those who want to defund and tie the hands of our police. I'll protect our Second Amendment rights and see that strong laws are in place to dissuade those who think they can come here to break into your car or home. I'm Mike Carter, and I want to earn your vote to be your Republican state senator. This is Judge Mike Carter, Republican candidate for the new 10th District State Senate seat. I believe strongly, as I know you do, in safeguarding our personal freedoms and securing our rights as guaranteed under the Constitution. I'll put my knowledge and experience to work for you, protecting those rights, opposing tax hikes, keeping families safe by opposing those who want to defund the police, making small businesses and family farms a priority, and safeguarding our Second Amendment. I'm Mike Carter, and I hope to earn your vote to be your next Republican state senator. Go to MikeCarter.com to learn more. Paid for by me, Mike Carter.
This is a great time of the year to upgrade the energy efficiency in your home with my friends at Window World. Mark Cox here to tell you more about my experience with Window World. They replaced a couple of windows at my house. They were just panes of glass. We wanted to be able to get some airflow into the master bathroom. They came out, they gave us a free estimate, and then had the windows at seams installed in no time. Very professional, lifetime warranty I get, and you get an extra double strength glass on their replacement windows that's not common. So you're getting a great price, simply the best for less. They do front entry doors, rear entry doors if you're looking to replace that back door or sliding glass door in your home. They've got a great selection at Window World. They're also right now offering 18 months, same as cash financing, of course, with approved credit. The preferred window of the St. Louis Blues. 314-993-1800, windowworld.com. Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the Mark Cox Morning Show.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Information to keep you moving. Dependable traffic mornings and afternoons with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I've got the month of May. I guess you said what can make me feel this way.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Wiggins America here. Ryan Wiggins in studio. How are you, Ryan?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I think at the 2 o'clock hour, we're going to discuss the answer to Brian's question on YouTube. Did Wiggins get the flowers?
That's a great question. Wish I could answer that now, but I won't.
I know. There's video, an angry video.
Yeah.
Hostile.
Ooh, I haven't seen this.
No.
Yeah. It's throwing some bombs.
Yes. At
For
me.
sure. Yeah. At somebody
it's very
in particular.
personal. Anyway, let's get to Wiggins America. Right now.
Oh, Wiggins!
But did he get the flowers? You'll have to wait and see. 2 o'clock.
All right, let's debate this because you may have seen this over the weekend. I saw it in some random news story, and then I look up over the weekend, and Fox News had a little story about it. So I don't know if they covered it a lot, but I thought it was very, very interesting. A Texas woman is fighting a $215 traffic ticket she received for driving in the carpool lane. Here's how she's fighting it. Brandy Batone of Plano, Texas.
Brandy is a really difficult name.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen it before. It's one of those ethnic names. Brandy.
What?
It's the plainest name possible, and I screwed it up. Brandy Batone of Plano was 34 weeks pregnant when she told Dallas County Sheriff Department officers that her unborn fetus counts as a passenger in the carpool lane. Therefore, she has the right to use it. She said, I pointed to my stomach and said, baby girl is right here. She's a person now. According to Roe versus Wade, she brought up Roe versus Wade in the encounter. And she said, you can use this as evidence if you want to. And you could let me go free.
I'm not advocating this. Has anyone doxed her yet? Do we know? Did she do this specifically because she's mad about Roe v. Wade?
Yes.
Kind of sounds like
right.
It.
Yeah, she wasn't like an advocate for the unborn. She was doing this because
Which is
she was
ironic
mad.
because she's carrying one.
Yes.
Was she even pregnant?
Yeah, she's 34 weeks pregnant.
Okay, so that's that part.
That's
She's
real.
not got a pillow stuffed under her.
No, it's real. She really is pregnant, but she basically people are carrying this story in the mainstream news because they're like, oh, look at these hypocrites.
Yeah.
Because they did, and it's true, they did give her a ticket because she didn't have multiple people in the car.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Do you think that she should have gotten off? And do you think they should change the rules now?
Or I think they should change the rules.
So she's right.
Of course she's right.
Yeah.
She probably hates that fact. I mean, we're not going to deperson somebody because of a traffic law, but maybe you should write better traffic laws. And maybe you should acknowledge the fact that it's a human, because guess what? If some psycho drunk person runs into her and kills her baby in a car accident, they can be charged with manslaughter. So we're not going to unbaby that baby in that circumstance. Maybe you should write smarter laws. Shocking.
So I figured that you would say that.
No.
So my rebuttal is
you just wanted to say but.
I did. I wanted to say rebut, like we had gone back to the butt.
Yeah. Now you've said it 4 times.
Yeah. Well, first of all, we don't really have carpool lanes much in this area. I'm glad about that. It's probably just because our traffic isn't quite bad enough like it is in LA and some huge cities, Atlanta and apparently Dallas. So I'm glad that we don't have carpool lanes, and I'm not advocating that we do have them, and I'm not advocating for them anywhere in the country.
That's good, because MoDOT is listening right now to figure out what they should do.
Mm-hmm. Well, we help set policy for IDOT and MoDOT.
And State
IDOT. I never hear that.
IDOT? Yeah.
IDOT.
I actually had to think to myself, what is the Missouri side called?
Yeah, I know, because I see IDOT all the time too. So here's the thing, though. In Texas and most places where they have carpool lanes, you don't have to have somebody who's above the age of 16. You just have to have anybody in the car. So that means you could have just your little baby in the car or kid and be using the carpool lane. Do you think that is right?
Well, no. I mean, the point of a carpool lane is for people who are commuting to work. Am I wrong?
That's what I would have figured.
Because guess what I'm doing all the freaking time is carpooling.
Exactly.
Because I have all these dang kids. They're everywhere.
That's
and they
my
always
argument.
want to go places.
Exactly. And that's my argument.
What's the spirit of the law?
Why do you have this at all? Is it to encourage more? It seems as if you have two people of driving age that could have taken separate cars and they decided, no, let's carpool, let's go in one car.
Yeah.
That would be why that lane exists.
Correct.
If you
to
just
save the environment.
Clearly, if you have just your kids in the car, your kids weren't all going to drive separate cars
Texas
to wherever you're going.
Needs to overturn this ticket and commend her for her advocacy and make a huge donation to some women's shelter that takes care of actual women and babies in her freaking name, and then rewrite the
Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be great?
I would love it. I'll donate to the cause.
This is the Brandy Batone grant to
how about a scholarship?
Pregnancy
How about
Center.
a scholarship where they give out $215 for 5 years or for 73 years for Roe v. Wade being overturned. For 73 years, $250 scholarships out to moms who choose life in the name of Brandy Batone.
I love it.
Make it.
I love it.
Come on, Elon Musk. You want babies all over the place.
And if they don't do that
in Texas,
get rid of all carpool lanes. Because apparently there are all kinds of ways around it. Like just having your infant in the car. That's not a carpool.
How much well, people, we've seen this before. People put like blow up dolls in their cars. There's
Exactly.
at least one annual, Hannah, there's at least one annual story about somebody who tried to skirt the carpooling lane.
Yeah.
By doing something like that. This is a better attempt. I commend her. She's exactly right.
I do too.
I don't think she did it for the right reasons.
Let's get her on the show.
Okay.
Let's congratulate her publicly.
Let me call her right now. Her
Hey, Brandy.
number's probably in this article.
Brittany,
I'll do
what'd you call her?
I'll do the interview because I'm the one who can pronounce Brandy.
It's Brandy. You said Brittany.
No,
I did
you
not.
you said Brittany.
I thought you just
One
said
of these
it.
days,
I was making
Ryan's
fun of
actually
you.
going to listen to the show while he's on it.
I think we may need to rewind the tape. I thought you just said Brittany.
You're going to be.
I did
so-
to make fun of you because that's what you
Oh.
said.
I said Brandy, and
Okay.
she said, didn't you say Brittany?
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I'm listening, clearly.
Get on the freaking Odyssey app and rewind it because you can do that there.
I will do that. Great plug. You want me to tell you about the flowers now or not?
No, I said 2 o'clock.
All right,
That's
fine.
called a radio tease, which in theory makes people want to listen longer, but most of those people have left already. So it's really just you and me. So you can say whatever the heck you want.
Okay. Well, anyway, I think the point is, MoDOT, if you're listening, don't do carpool lanes because they are more trouble than they're worth. And honestly, overall,
You know how you solve carpool lanes? You trash your city and everybody wants to bring their businesses out to the suburbs anyway.
and then drive in.
And then you don't have to drive and carpool to the
Oh,
city.
yeah.
That's what all these big cities are doing anyway. They're too dangerous to drive into.
Then
you don't need carpool lanes.
That's why they're doing it too.
If the ultimate goal here is to solve the carpool lane
Mhm.
situation,
Good job.
well done.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm really tired right now. And I become so much more like uncautiously honest. It's gonna be a good show.
That's going to be the next slogan for Lori Lightfoot. Lori Lightfoot, solve the carpool problem.
Yes. Yeah.
That's it.
And F. Clarence Thomas.
Yep.
Do probably both those things at the same time.
I can't believe these people. All right. Well, we got an hour down, so you got an hour behind you. You can wake up and get you some caffeine in the break here.
It's empty.
Okay.
Oh no.
I already had Mountain Dew to try to make that go. I'll just tell you about that later in the show too. Has to do with baseball weekend. Let's talk to Stephen Moore when we
If
come
you
back.
filed a tax extension in April, don't wait until it's too late to handle your tax issues. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm. Every year, thousands of Missourians file extensions when their taxes are due in April. But what people don't know is the extension only moves your deadline to file your return, not to pay your taxes. So if you didn't pay anything back in April, you could now owe taxes plus interest plus penalties. You think you bought yourself time, but really you've just added to the total bill. If this sounds like you, call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I am a local tax attorney with an A+ BBB rating, and I will meet with you right away to help handle your tax problems quickly. The deadline to file your return after an extension has already passed, so call the Lance Drury Law Firm now before it's too late. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call Attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURY law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
I'm Mike Carter. There are a lot of politicians in Washington who will never get it about the hardworking people of Missouri, that we love our country and our flag. Family, faith, and freedom are worth preserving. Those who come to our country should do so legally. Parents have a voice in their children's education. Police officers are the good guys. And we're not giving up our guns. If that offends the media, too bad. I'm Judge Mike Carter, Republican candidate for state senator in the 10th District. Go to MikeCarter.com to learn more. This is Judge Mike Carter. I'm running for Senate here in Lincoln and St. Charles County. What you may not know is I run the Cowboy Judge Show on ABC on the weekends. You can actually check out all the episodes at MikeCarter.com, and you might see Mike Wood, Lincoln County prosecutor, Tim Lomar, St. Charles County prosecutor. We actually talk a little bit about Pam Hupp and the things that they have to do on a regular basis to keep us safe in our communities in Lincoln and St. Charles County. The Cowboy Judge Show on ABC on the weekends. Go to MikeCarter.com and check it out. Paid for by me, Mike Carter.
Hurry in to Mattress Firm's July 4th sale. Get a king bed for the price of a queen or a queen for a twin and save up to $500 on Sealy. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying Sealy purchase up to a $499 value. Or shop Tempur-Pedic, the most highly recommended bed in America, and save $500 on all Tempur-Breeze mattresses and get a $300 instant gift good towards sleep accessories. Only at Mattress Firm. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
And Doug. Chances are you're jamming in your car right now. And since Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance so you only pay for what you need, Limu and I are going to show you some safe car dance moves. Hit it. Everybody, check your blind spots real quick. Now hands on the wheel. Put them 10 in 2 and move your head like a bird do. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
The White House recognizes new gun legislation. I'm Ann Carrick, Fox News. President Biden and Vice President Harris celebrating the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act. President Biden agreeing with responsible gun owners.
No one else should have access to it, so lock it up. Have trigger locks. And if you don't, and something bad happens, you should be held responsible.
Vice President Harris.
Again and again, the American people have called for common sense action to protect our communities. Last month, their call was finally answered.
The legislation includes grants for states to implement crisis intervention programs, backs mental health services for communities and schools, and expands background checks. A new over-the-counter birth control drug awaits permission to be sold in the U.S.
French pharma company HRA is now applying with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration to sell its birth control product called O-Pill. It's the first big drug to possibly be sold following the overturning of Roe v. Wade, though the company insists the timing is coincidental and they have been working towards the U.S. market for some time. It's hormone-based, and the company claims a woman will be able to self-screen and not need a doctor's opinion on whether she can safely use it.
Fox's Eben Brown. More hearings tomorrow regarding the January 6th Capitol riot and an unexpected witness, Fox's Tanya J. Powers.
Reuters reports that one will also be held in primetime on Thursday evening. Among those set to testify are former Trump White House chief strategist Steve Bannon, who is facing a trial on 2 counts of criminal contempt of Congress later this month. Those stem from his refusal to turn over any documents or testify after being subpoenaed. Former White House counsel Pat Cipollone spoke to the committee behind closed doors on Friday. Part of tomorrow's hearing will also focus on what extremist groups like the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers were plotting for January 6th.
America's listening to Fox News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
This afternoon shaping up to be the hottest of the work week. Sunny skies, it's hot, it's humid, 94 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear. Temperatures low 90s this evening, 72 for the low on Tuesday. Sunny, slightly less humid, 90 degrees for the high on Tuesday. So much of the afternoon Tuesday in the 80s, keeping it in the 80s Wednesday and Thursday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
There are many ways to listen. Most choose radio. But have you tried streaming? Download the Odyssey app and you can stream 97.1 with one touch. Or try it touchless by telling your smart speaker to play it. It's where the world, the country, and the community converge. 97.1 FM Talk. right here, right now.
Michael's Flooring Outlet, easy to find on their website at igotfloor.com. When you go to their website, you can, this is one of my favorite things because when yes, my husband, when we go shopping for something, when I get it in my head that it's time to make said purchase, I want to go buy it. I don't want to be ordering something that's going to be coming in like weeks time or months time, because right now that seems like that turns into forever. Go to Michael's Flooring Outlet. You can see what they have in stock. You can check out the best waterproof flooring in the business. You can see all of the connections to all the different products that they have right there. And you can also request an estimate. Michael's Flooring Outlet is a St. Louis family-owned and operated business that cares about you as a customer, because they know, as somebody who is in St. Louis, in the greater St. Louis area, that the next time you have a flooring purchase, they want to make sure they don't earn your current business, but just your future business as well. So many repeat purchasers from Michael's Flooring Outlet because they offer the best in customer service, quality, and also value. They have multiple locations across the St. Louis and Charles area, and you can find out everything you need to know about them online at igotfloor.com.
Mark Cox here. Join me as we head to enchanting Germany to see fairy tale castles like Neuschwanstein and picturesque Bavarian villages, medieval Munich, the world-famous Hofbrauhaus, even Mozart's Salzburg in Austria, too. Join me this fall, $49.49. That includes your airfare. Call 888-733-9494 or go online today to conservativetours.com. That's conservativetours.com.
The Martins came over, we were having spaghetti when we suddenly noticed that we started getting sweaty. So we grabbed the keys and we ate it in the van. That's what my friend said. Call Cherry Kelly, man, CherryKelly.com. Give him a call even though it's late. CherryKelly.com. Cause Jerry Kelly's always open up until 8. They're certified technicians, I've been told. Will help you when it's hot and help you when it's cold. CherryKelly.com. They're fast and they're good and they got it going on. CherryKelly.com.
The following is a commercial announcement.
Your local radio stations are here for you. No subscriptions or monthly fees necessary. We're here to give you the news, weather, and traffic you need and the music you love. But if the foreign-owned record labels get their way, it could stop the music. They want Congress to force radio stations to pay them more money simply to play their music. Don't let radio go silent. Text LOCAL to 52886 and tell Congress to protect local radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
I'm Listening reminds you that talk saves lives, and 988 makes it even easier to reach out and talk. 988 is just like 911 for emergency services. 988 connects you with trained counselors in over 200 crisis centers nationwide. Find out more at imlistening.org.
Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Find the car you want, new or used. Get it at Clement, get pre-approved. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. ClementAutoGroup.com.
Keeping you connected and aware.
In the world, the country, and the community.
And offering more ways than ever to listen conveniently. Tell your smart speaker to play 97.1 FM Talk or download the Odyssey app.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
So let me ask a simple question this way. What do you attribute to the fact that 3/4 of the country feel like the country's headed in the wrong direction? How much of it is economic in your view?
I think quite a bit of it is economic, and specifically, I think it's inflation. So, look, obviously it's frustrating. If you were to ask me, what do I think of the economy? I'd say we have a very strong economy.
So that's the Commerce Secretary saying we have a very strong economy. We just got a jobs report last week, and there were some positive things that were to note there. But I'll tell you, as somebody who reports on my own job, my own personal economy, which is how much I'm paying at the gas station, how much I'm paying at the grocery store, what it costs if I want to take my kiddos on a vacation, and live a lifestyle that I'm working very hard as a 2-income household with my husband to provide for my family. That economy kind of sucks right now. So Americans don't really see the details in these numbers and know how to put them together in a report, an economic report. They know what they experience on their own individually. But to try to mesh this all together, our friend Stephen Moore joins us right now, the senior economic contributor at FreedomWorks, author of the book Govzilla, How the Relentless Growth of Government is Devouring Our Economy and Our Freedom. Stephen, welcome back to the show. Good to have you here.
Hi, Annie. Great to be with you. By the way, you took the words right out of my mouth. I think you said the economy sucks right now.
We're not the only two.
Very, very concisely.
Yeah.
When these Biden people go on TV and say, "Oh, everything's just fine," we're doing swimmingly, it's almost insulting, and it suggests that people in the Oval Office and the White House are just completely out of touch with what's going on in real America. I think you said, I caught the very tail end of what you were saying at the outset, but 80% of Americans think the economy's headed in the wrong direction. So the American people don't agree with the Commerce Secretary. They don't agree with Biden. They don't agree with Kamala Harris. They think we're in a lot of trouble, and I do too. I mean, I think we're in a soft recession right now. It's a soft recession, so negative growth, but just a little bit negative. But we should be booming. I mean, my frustration is that if Trump were still president and his policies were still in place, the U.S. economy would just be absolutely booming right now. And so it's a real unfortunate situation that I think we as a country made a big mistake in November of 2020, and we're paying a high price for it. And the problem is also that nothing Biden is proposing makes any sense. I saw a pretty funny cartoon that we used for our hotline today. It has Biden driving up to a store, checkout a thing, and he says, "You gas station attendants, you need to lower your prices." And the guy says, "Sir, this is a Wendy's." We just the idea that isn't it almost comical that he blames the gas station owners for high gas prices?
Yeah. I mean, I got to ask you this. You said nothing that the president is proposing makes any sense. I don't really hear him proposing anything. I just hear him blaming people.
He blames people a lot, but he has this new cockamamie scheme that somehow he's going to, I can't even do justice to it because I can't really explain it. Somehow he's going to force the Russians to charge less money for the oil that they have because we need their oil because we're not producing oil here at home because we have these green energy policies. And he says, we're not going to buy their oil unless they cut their prices. You know why that's not going to work? You know what country's going to buy their oil, Annie? Of course.
Yeah. It's always.
So how's that going to work?
It doesn't make any sense when you, but it's, we spoke with Mark Krikorian earlier in the show about the border security issues that we have on our southern border. And it's hard to fix a problem that you don't identify first and foremost is a problem. And if you look at the energy plan that this administration had coming into the presidency and their day one initiative to destroy the Keystone Pipeline, I look at energy prices and the direction the economy is going. And I have to ask myself, do they think it's a problem or is this success?
Yeah, well, apparently it's success, according to their Commerce Secretary. Now, even on the jobs market, there are jobs out there. There's no question about it. But we have a lot of Americans that are on the sidelines because they're getting they're still getting a lot of money from the government, Annie. So we got a lot of people who just aren't going back to work because Uncle Sam is paying them. And you just look at the situation like, why don't we have work requirements? So, if you're going to get, if everybody falls on tough times, I've lost a job. I don't know if you ever have, but, you want to make sure people don't go hungry or lose their home or, can make their ends meet. But it's supposed to be temporary assistance that is also oriented towards getting you back in the job market. We've had people for 2 years now who have not worked, and they have no intention to go back to work because when you count the rental assistance, the food stamps, the free health care, the child credits, all this stuff, the unemployment benefits, it's a lot of money we're paying to people for not working. So we've got problems ahead. I think that what I would do if I were Biden is I would bring in someone. I mean, he's got a economy that's in big trouble. There's a poll, the New York Times of all places did this poll this weekend. 65% of Democrats don't want Joe Biden to run for re-election.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't seem to me like the president, when he speaks on pretty much anything, but also the issue about running for re-election, it's as if the outside factors, the American people and their satisfaction living in this country under his presidency, it's like nothing that is happening out in the real world affects the way he sees anything that has in his plan, whatever that plan is, or his ability to adapt over the course of time, because so much of what comes out of this administration has all of America on both sides of the aisle scratching their heads.
I would just say one thing about that. It's not just Biden. It's people in Washington generally, in what I call the bubble, or Trump called it the swamp, right? It's like it is a bubble. They don't seem to connect with what's happening in real America, Main Street USA. And so, in Washington, everything's honky-dory. It's just the rest of the country that's suffering, as a result of these policies. So I think there's such an out-of-touch quality to this. So I think Biden isn't the only problem. I think it's an entire culture in Washington that just wants to take our money, rearrange it, take a carrying cost, and then send our money back. So they collect $1 from us, they spend 10 cents, and they send us 90 cents back. How's that a good deal?
I don't know, but they somehow keep getting elected, telling you it is. Senior economic contributor at FreedomWorks, Stephen Moore, with us right now. I want to talk a little bit about the jobs report last week, but also you were pointing towards it, the unemployment benefits that exist for people not working right now. Can you compare pre-pandemic unemployment and what that would provide somebody who is down on their luck versus where we are right now in July of 2022? Are we back to where we were, or are we still riding a little bit of the COVID wave here?
Oh, there's still all these benefit programs that have not gone away. There's still extra food stamps. There's still extra unemployment benefits. There's still rental assistance. There's and look, the Biden people, much like the Obama people, they want people to get these benefits. They don't want to get people off the programs. You're talking about, how many times have we talked in the last few months, Annie, about the fraud in these programs? I mean, hundreds of billions of dollars, not hundreds of millions, hundreds of billions of dollars stolen from these programs by fraudsters. Nobody in Washington does anything about it. And so, why are we talking about tax increases? And this is something, before we end this conversation, I want to mention to your listeners, we need all hands on deck. There's now a talk about another deal between Chucky Schumer, who runs the Senate, and Joe Manchin, trying to put together a deal to have a Build Back Better bill. They want to spend another $500 billion, and they want something like $500 billion of new taxes. Can you imagine doing that right now? To raise taxes on our small businesses when we're in a recession? That's how crazy these folks are.
Yeah, I just think that when to your point, when you take away people's need to provide their own food, their own shelter, any of these necessities, I mean, that's why I have a job. I love what I do, but if I didn't have to do any of this to take care of myself or my family, I can think of about a million other things that I would like to be doing with my time right now. But the necessity pushes me into wanting to work, and working pushes me into wanting to have a successful career. And it seems like the Democrats have taken that away from working class people.
By the way, we don't do any favors for people by keeping people out of the workforce. For one thing, the evidence is so clear that people who work and have a reason to get out of bed in the morning are happier. They're not just make more money. They're happier than people who are not working. You've got to have a purpose in your life, and your job is part of that. It's not your whole life, but it is your contribution you make, to society. And there are other ways to contribute, but obviously mothers contribute bringing up the children and that kind of thing. But the studies show, though, that very clearly that people work are more likely to be healthier and happier than people who are not working. So we're not even doing a favor for people by providing all these benefits. But I think right now, by the way, that poll I was mentioning in the New York Times, 80% of Americans, 80% think the economy is on the wrong track. and only 15% agree with that. What's the name of the Commerce Secretary who says, "Oh, everything's just wonderful." No, I don't think too many Americans agree with that.
Yeah, they know because they have the money and it's not going as far as it used to, and they can't do the things that they want. They're going to want change. Stephen Moore, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Your expertise is great, of great value here, and we're thankful for you.
Okay, Annie, have a great week.
You
Take
as well.
care.
Bye-bye. Stephen Moore with FreedomWorks, the senior economic contributor there. And I can't stress enough how much of a pleasure it is that he's willing to give you the time each and every week here on the Annie Frey Show, because he is top tier level economic economic expert. He was an advisor to President Trump. He has a line to speak with President Trump on economic issues still to this day, as well as many other people who are influential in guiding the economic future of our country. And Stephen Moore, and like many of you, I believe, believes the power of the economic economy, or the economy in the United States of America, is with you. And you might be saying, with me, how could it possibly be with me? Because if it's with you, it's not with the government. That's the bottom line. Let's take a quick break. I want to invite you to go vote in the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. Are you a Trump Republican? Yes? No? Or I'm not a Republican? You can tell us in the live chat portion of the Annie Frey YouTube live taking place right now. Just go find the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Vote in the live chat poll. Leave a comment if you so choose. You don't have to. And we'll give you those results at the end of the show. Stick around. We'll talk a little bit more about the economy here and what the solutions are going forward, including some of your comments on the YouTube live channel when we come back. Don't go away.
Getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a...
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie. The candidates are set in Illinois. Next up, the Missouri primary on August 2nd.
We know what the mission is.
97.1 is your place for full Decision 2022 coverage. Sponsored by Air Comfort Service and TR Hughes Homes.
So I want to talk to you about the bagel loan with Stewart's American Mortgage and how he can personally help you drastically improve your economic situation. We've seen that the Feds has been raising rates. And while that does make its way to mortgage rates, what it does do for sure is raise those credit card rates. If you've got high interest credit card debt, if you have other loans that have rates that have ballooned up and you are paying a lot of interest on those, consider the value that you have in your house and how you could use that value with a new mortgage refinance using the bagel loan at Stewart's American Mortgage to get rid of that high interest credit card debt obligation. Stewie can help you with it. And when you use the bagel loan, this is why this is so special. This is the, flashing billboard lights thing that I want to make sure that you understand. When you do a mortgage refinance with Stewie, you don't pay anything in fees. All these other lenders out there are going to do that. He doesn't tuck them in, hide them away so that you don't see that they exist. They just don't exist. So you can rectify a lot of concern that you have with your economic situation right now while the economy is experiencing some trying times, putting yourself in the hands of Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage. I've done it twice myself, and I want you to give it a try as well. 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. Call my friend Stewie. Mention Annie when you do. He'll love to hear that. You can Google the bagel loan to find out more information. NMLS number 226715.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet Store.
Hi, this is Arnold, owner of the Good Feet Store. How long have you had sharp pain in your heel or that burning sensation on the bottom of your feet? Do you want to lose weight and exercise, but cannot because of foot, ankle, or low back pain? Many people come to the Good Feet Store talking about these same issues. The Good Feet Store has helped thousands of customers.
The pain in my foot was so bad I could not walk around for any length of time. I walked in the Good Feet Store in pain, and I walked out pain-free.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Deerbergs.
Thanks to the Good Feet Store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Good Feet. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief to fit any budget. No shots, no surgery, no medication. Come in for a free test walk today.
Replacing your windows should be stress-free and add value to your home. Infinity from Marvin Windows are your best choice. Made with Ultrex fiberglass, 8 times stronger than vinyl, low maintenance and available in many colors. And we leave your home spotless. Schedule your free design consultation by calling Lakeside Renovation and Design at 636-978-5000 or online at lakesiderenovationanddesign.com.
Donate your car to Goodwill and get 4 free tickets to Six Flags. Ride the greats like the Screaming Eagle or hang out at Hurricane Harbor. Donating a car to Goodwill is easy. Towing is free, and you'll get a tax receipt. For more information or to donate online, visit mersgoodwill.org. Use promo code Six Flags. Hurry while supplies last. Give hope. Give local. Give Goodwill.
Nobody wants to miss the important things in life, and if it's because of bad vision, you don't have to. Mark Cox here from my friends at Brenton Vision. They can help you out. That's why I want you to take 2 minutes today to call my friends at Brenton at 314-375-2020 or go online to brentonvision.com. Your eyes are as unique as your fingerprint. Since Brenton Vision is the only place in Missouri offering all 7 forms of modern vision correction, they can create a customized treatment plan just for your vision. They helped my wife out. She chose the lens replacement therapy and now sees better than ever, and she loves it. You can have that same experience with Brenton Vision. They accept flex plans and medical spending plans as well at Brenton. So don't let that money expire or go to waste. See your best. Do what we did. Call Brenton Vision at 314-375-2020 or schedule online right now at brentonvision.com.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Hey girl, is he everything you wanted in me? You know I gave you the world. You had me in the palm of your hand. So why your love went away? I just can't seem to understand. Thought it was me and you, baby. Me and you until the end, but I guess I was wrong. Don't wanna think about it.
But what we also know is that this president has been fighting on behalf of the American middle class since he got here, and he has a lot to show for it. An unemployment rate that's been 3.6% for 4 months in a row, stellar job growth, an incredibly strong labor market backdrop to these inflationary pressures. But let's talk about energy, okay? The gas price is down more than 30 cents off of its peak. Now, some of that has to do with initiatives that this White House has taken, the president's behest, including measures to increase the supply of oil. So I think if you actually look at what the president has done, keep your head down. That's our assignment, and that's what we're trying to do.
Oh my gosh, I'll have what they're having. Good grief. So we're celebrating the fact that gas is down 30 cents from its peak. Define what its peak was. It's $5. I mean, in Illinois, Brad, you're more southern than from St. Louis than I am. I'm a little more
just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But we both live in areas with easy access to the highway that allows us to commute to St. Louis, which means we live in commuter neighborhoods.
Right.
Developed commuter neighborhoods.
Right. With gas stations just off of interstate exits.
And how much, what was the highest gas on unleaded that you remember seeing?
That I remember
do you,
for unleaded.
Do you use unleaded?
I use unleaded, yeah.
Okay.
My wife's car uses premium, which is terrible. So I have to put more in my truck, but
what a
she
big
puts
paperweight
less in there.
Does she using premium? Does it cost more for her to fill up than it does you?
No,
using
because
unleaded?
her gas tank is tiny. My truck's gas. It's about the same though. Which is crazy.
What's the highest you remember seeing unleaded?
I would say probably around like 5.30 or so was the highest I saw.
Well, now it's down 30 cents, so it's like down to $5 a gallon. Wow.
Slow clap.
Yeah, this is a slow clap.
You know what, though? I don't know if you remember this or not, but when Hannah was heading down to vacation, she sent us a direct message. She's like, we got gas for $4.30. Woohoo. I'm like, we're woohooing $4.30 gallon gas.
This is a problem. But I mean, it literally is something they're celebrating. And if you listen to what is the top Biden economic advisor, Jared Bernstein, speaking about this, do you know what else he says? One of the other things he mentions here is he's championing the Biden administration's ability to increase oil supplies.
How?
I mean,
what we also know is that this president has been fighting on behalf of the American middle class since he got here, and he has a lot to show for it. An unemployment rate that's been 3.6% for 4 months in a row, stellar job growth, an incredibly strong labor market backdrop to these inflationary pressures. But let's talk about energy, okay? The gas price is down more than 30 cents off of its peak. Now, some of that has to do with initiatives that this White House has taken, the president's behest, including measures to increase the supply of oil. So I think if you actually look at what the president has done, keep your head down. That's our assignment. And
yeah,
that's
keep
what
your
we're
head down from all those suburban moms who just went to the gas station and were like, what the heck is going on? Listen, he says this is the campaign commercial where if you clip these things out of this, you could create a real campaign commercial for this incredibly successful administration. Stellar job growth. Let's identify that real quick and look into stellar job growth. You shut down everything.
Right.
You told people they were not allowed to go to their jobs. You told businesses they were not allowed to open their doors.
Mm-hmm.
People lost their jobs because of what blue state governors, Pritzker, looking at you, and the federal government did to try to keep people. I mean, like, what was the last thing to come around? It was the federally operated entities that you could still go into right now and see certain type of mitigations that are in place.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, whenever they say record job growth, are they talking about from when they took office to now? And then from when they took office to now, has that job growth actually exceeded what it was before we just decided
we don't talk about Bruno. No.
To flip the switch on the economy? Are we up actually? Have we gained a lot of job growth? Because I wouldn't count that as job growth. And then I guess the other part of that is, too, when we look at those job growths, and like you were saying, blue states had shut down harder than red states. How much of that job growth came in states like Florida, where people could go to work, and not states like Illinois, where people couldn't go to work, where Illinois is run by a Democrat and Florida's by a Republican?
A freedom-loving Republican. Let's just look at simple numbers. Let's say that there are 10 jobs available. And let's say that the government comes into state A and says 9 of your 10 people have to go home and cannot work. We need this one person to be at work. Thank you, nurses and medical professionals who we championed until you decided you wanted to make your own choice about what to do with your body, medically speaking. 9 out of 10 of you need to stay home. In state B, you also have the same 10 jobs. And we said 9 out of 10 of you can stay at work, but it's on you. If you choose to pull back, okay, that's fine. Of these 10 jobs that are available, you guys need to make the decision as what's best for your company, your business, and your employees. And let's say that 6 out of 10 of those people stayed home for a while and came back when the time was right. But the jobs weren't eliminated, or maybe 2 out of 10 of the jobs were eliminated. So then you go back to state A, and then they say, everybody can come back now. And 9 out of 10 people are now back at work. That means you brought 8 jobs out of 10 back. That is incredible. Except for you set the fire that you're putting out. And in the other state, if maybe you had 4 jobs that came back, and that looks like less progress, but you still had a straight line level of people working for the majority of time, and the growth, we got to look at point A on the point A to point B chart and understand why point A was so low. They set this problem up to solve it. And they're claiming right now that they're the champions for you by doing so. Another thing, gas prices are down off their peak. Gas is still over $4.
Way up.
We're getting comments from people saying right now that there are several places in Missouri that are just a hair below $4. Good for you. We saw gas yesterday in Illinois for $4.49. And we were like, oh, $4.49. And then we all looked at each other like, $4.49. Like, you gotta be kidding me.
Were you more upset with yourself for going, oh, $4.49?
Just a whole lot of disappointment.
Yeah. Like we can't allow ourselves to get into that mindset that $4.49 is acceptable. You can't
It's not okay.
It's not. It's unacceptable. And then they're going to take a victory lap on it and be like, well, it got really high, but we brought it back down. Not down where it was.
All right, Jared, go fill up the other car at the corner gas station. It's $4.49.
Yeah.
What the heck? Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. And then he says they put into place some mitigation measures, and he talks about increasing the oil supply. You've got to be kidding.
Like his plan for increasing the oil supply was releasing petroleum from the strategic reserves and selling
and begging countries that we
people.
don't normally want to be doing business with in this regard to increase their supply, coming hat in hand saying, please, can you please help us Americans? We have
while sitting on a gigantic supply of oil. There's tons of oil in the ground in Illinois. Listen to me. In the United States.
Yes.
It is one of the world's largest oil supplies. And we're just sitting on it and not drilling it and not doing anything because I really don't know. I don't know. I can't follow the logic outside of like a
There's
virtue
not
signal.
logic.
Well, sure it is.
It's all politics.
They don't want you using oil. They want you using green energy. And Brad, you're probably the best person to explain this, at least in this room. No offense, Hannah. I'm just prejudging you in the same camp that I am. But when you go buy E85 oil, gasoline for your car, and you're like, oh wow, it's cheaper. Oh, and it's good for the environment. It sucks for your car.
So there's a chapter or a verse in the Bible that says you can't serve two masters.
Is it about E85 gas? Because that's
we can
awesome.
apply it to it
Did
because
not
I
know
can do that. You can't serve two masters. So if you're going to build an engine to run off of, regular dinosaur oil, it's going to be really good
Sinclair.
Off of Sinclair. It's going to run really good off of that, but then it's not going to run at all. It'll eat up the gaskets. You'll get worse mileage and stuff like that. So if you want an engine that's going to run off of alcohol, which is what E85 is, it's ethanol. You have to build the engine in a different way to take full advantage of that. But when you build it that way, you can't run off of regular gasoline. So you end up with these flex fuel vehicles. And whenever you run the E85 in them, they're less efficient and your engine burns out quicker.
But Brad, E85 gasoline is always so much cheaper.
That's because it's oil and it's not good for your car.
And it's subsidized by the government, which makes it cheaper. It's not actually cheaper. You know who subsidizes it? The government. You know whose money the government has? Yours.
So you're subsidizing it.
Yes.
That's what she's saying.
So that you can run crappier gasoline in your car that some politician wants you. I mean, like, I'm all for energy alternatives. I'm not opposed to that. But don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining out here, which is what they're doing. It's incredibly rude.
And this is going to sound crazy, but I'm not against transitioning to electric vehicles, but I think we should transition, right? It's like monkey bars.
How's the power grid going to handle that?
It's not. We got to get there.
Where do we get that power from?
From coal now.
Okay, this is problematic.
And then like the greenest energy that we have, that's the most successful one, is nuclear energy. And we're not even allowed to do that because, 3 Mile Island and all these other things, which actually, when you look at it, it's probably some of the safest forms of energy out there. But we will turn down, and Germany has done this, turn off all of our nuclear reactors and rely on natural gas and coal, which is all dirtier than that stuff.
And the truth of this is, and I'm just gonna boldly say that I'm too stupid to understand all the ins and outs of this, but I do know people who work in all of these different energies. I know people who work in nuclear power plants across the country. I know somebody who worked in a nuclear submarine for the military. That stuff's crazy. But when you listen to, like, somebody explain to you the apolitical process of manufacturing and utilizing nuclear power. And then you listen to somebody, maybe out of West Virginia, who talks about coal and clean coal and how coal can be used in the whole picture of how we power our country. And you talk about oil and drilling for oil and all the different types of ways that we utilize power. There is no conversation that takes place on a cable news show. And very few, if any, and I would have it here, but I'm not intellectually primed to be able to do this for you. We'll work on getting experts on to do that, who can talk about all of this without all the politics, like bugs on a windshield, smashing into and splattering their guts all over and obstructing your view from where you're actually headed.
Yeah. That's the worst part, because in all of these industries and all of these things, there's lobbyists that have money and they're lobbying
you said
politicians.
The word money,
right?
And then power.
And so they're lobbying these politicians, and then we don't really know what the best is. And there's always some sort of, like you were talking about with the E85, there's a thumb on the scale trying to make one better than the other, and it just doesn't work.
I mean, how many times have you seen people talk about it? I feel like there's a little bit less of this these days, pushing the E85 thing as it was when it first came out. You'd have the eco green leaf on the back of your card. That's not, I mean, I don't give two craps what kind of gasoline you put in your car. That is that is marketing for the person driving the car behind you.
Right.
The little green leaf.
I think my truck has that.
Does it?
Yeah, I think it has.
You think?
I think so.
Do you use E85?
No.
No, of course you don't. Mine might be able to take it. I don't even know. But the point is that it's all marketing, and the more that people use it, the more advocacy that they and statistics that they can use to push the need to continue to develop it. Keep developing it. I'm not opposed to that. Like you said, if there are cars that can be designed that are meant to use that type of power source in the appropriate way, then do that. If you're Elon Musk and you have a dream and you want to build an electric car that's better than any of the other electric cars out there, then do that. If Bezos wants to build an electric car that's better than the Tesla, do that. That's how we get into tomorrow. That is futuristic type of stuff. And we need people who want to invest in these ideas and being the very best in order to get us to where, if you actually cared about the environment, if that was the actual goal of any of these conversations, that's how we get there. But like I said, I really like the analogy of the bugs splattering all over the windshield. Is there anything more annoying than a summer night when you're driving and you get bugs all over your windshield, and it doesn't matter how much you're spraying, they just don't go away?
Smear.
Do you have to clean that? I have to clean that.
Yes, I have to. Alyssa, I cannot stand a dirty windshield. That is.
What about other people's? Do you just judge people one after the other?
If I sit in your car and you have a dirty windshield, I am silently.
You sat in my car and he's like, you got makeup all over your steering wheel. I have a black interior and I put my makeup on my car. I do put it on my car. I put it on my face in my car. And from time to time, I have baby wipes in there to wipe my hands off. And he's like, you've got a lot of makeup on your car. I'm like, I know, leave me alone.
What about a cracked windshield? Do you judge that?
No, because those are a little bit more expensive and difficult to take care of. So I understand that.
I got one of those.
I have how big is the crack in your windshield?
I need to get it fixed before I get an inspection.
I was just saying, you have to do the Missouri inspection, don't you?
Is it sprawling? Does it span your windshield?
Yeah.
When did it happen?
A few months ago, I think.
I have a chip in my windshield.
Get
and
that
it's
fixed.
Right in. Is that how it started, or is that what it is?
It started as just that, but I didn't get it fixed in time, and my insurance won't cover it anymore because it's like everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I have the chip. It's right in my line of sight, and I need to get it fixed. I don't know where the best place to go is. So if you have suggestions, I would love for you to send them to me. You can send them to the Annie Frey Show Facebook page. Send us a message, or you can comment on the live chat and tell me where to go, because it's just a little chip. And like I said, it's immediately in my line of sight, and it's just sitting there and it just stares at me and mocks me. And it makes me sad.
You could be driving one day and it'll go.
I know. I've had that happen.
Oh, no.
On a different vehicle where it went top to bottom.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And then we replaced it. But I need to get this fixed. So anybody who has suggestions for that windshield replacement, please let me know. Let's take a quick break. More Annie Frey Show right around the corner. Your vote on the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. Are you a Trump Republican? Yes, no, or I'm not a Republican. All of your votes are welcome right there. Just go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel. And in the live chat, you'll see the poll right there. You can leave a comment if you so choose. Make sure you say hi, especially if it's your first time visiting us there on the YouTube. And when we come back, we'll have a little more of this conversation. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show.
Girl, is he everything you wanted in me?
Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Had me in the palm of your hand. So why your love went away?
The Mark Reardon Show.
The word hello has only been around since 1883.
What? Are you going to throw a flag on this one, Mark?
No, do not throw a flag. Okay, go ahead and look it up.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
So Hensher Johnson Orthodontics, your friends and Dr. Jody over there waiting for you to reach out to them and schedule a consultation. Just a simple, hey, what's going on? And what's going on with my orthodontic care? Do I need braces? Is there something that I can do potentially to avoid having like all the metal in my mouth? Hey, there are a lot of different things that Dr. Jody and her supremely amazing staff at Henry Johnson Orthodontics can do to help you with your orthodontic care. If you've ever thought, I wish my smile was straighter, or some sort of alignment issues that you have in your mouth could be causing other health concerns that you may not even realize are connected to the alignment of your teeth in your mouth, go see Dr. Jody when you visit her amazing office. It's so beautiful. She has gone above and beyond to make sure that you feel welcome, you feel comfortable, and the staff that she has there, they are the best. They are kind, they are super knowledgeable, and you're going to get to know these people over the course of your orthodontic care and want to see them each time you come in and get to know them even better. Reach out to Dr. Jody by calling 618-400-0900. That's 618-400-0900 to schedule a consultation today, and make sure you mention the Annie Frey Show when you call. Offices in Columbia and Waterloo, HenterJohnsonOrtho.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458. 800-481-1458 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
When the forgotten poor are in need of healing, they wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy Ships, a floating hospital staffed by volunteers, heroes of mercy who donate their time to save lives.
Every human has the right to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the smiles that you get when lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org.
Mark Cox here with a question for homeowners. Would you sell your current home if you found your dream home? Well, of course you would. That's why you need to call Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria has a program that kind of eliminates the worry of selling your current home and then finding that next home with inventory being as low as it is. Gloria is an expert at finding listed and unlisted homes that match your specific criteria. Just let her know exactly what you're looking for. She'll find that dream home in the neighborhood of your choice. And once Gloria finds a homeowner who may consider a sale, not yet on the market, Gloria's going to inspect that home, set up a private, no-obligation showing, and negotiate on your behalf at no charge if you want to make an offer. If your offer is accepted, Gloria will also help you sell your existing home. Learn more now. Call Gloria at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Hi, George Weber. Check out my alter ego, Skip Weber, every Saturday night, 9 to 11. The Saturday Evening Rock Show, the greatest rock and roll show on a talk station in the world. Don't miss it.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that your car's transmission is made up of 800 pieces. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's fixed over 40 million transmissions, and that AMCO offers a nationwide warranty.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
That's AMCO, AAMCO.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studios. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 53 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Bringing you up-to-the-minute traffic like nobody else. Sue Thomas and dependable traffic, driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
You're doing something to me. You're doing something strange.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We're glad you're here. The Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. Are you a Trump Republican? yes, no, or I'm not a Republican, you can go to the Annie Frey YouTube and vote in the live chat area, which is where the poll is. And we will cover that at the end of the show with Hannah, now that she's in studio. We did talk. This is the first time we've all three been in the same room, really, since we went to the Trump rally together.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we did. I understand you told a story about getting booped by the. That sounds bad. By the Secret Service. You got bounced, I should say, from the area where we were. Yeah. How are you feeling about? So just to sum up for people who are hearing this story for the first time. I got invited to go to the Trump rally when he was in Mendon, Illinois, and I brought Brad and Hannah along with me, and they were great help. It was a long, hot day.
Rainy.
In a field.
Yeah.
Where Trump showed up.
We had
all seasons.
Like sideways rain and blistering sun
all at the same time.
All at the same time.
Yeah, it was intense, but it was a pretty crazy experience. And so we were there. When we got invited, we were told, you can request regular tickets because you had to request tickets in order to get in. You can request regular tickets, make sure you get media credentials, get on the media credential list, and also we'll see if we can put you on the expedited entry list, which is basically saying we were guests of people who were part of the organization. And the last part was the last thing that was going to get approved, because I think that they had to take I think they were doing background checks to some extent, running our names and stuff to make sure nothing came up. And fortunately, nothing did yet. I don't know what happened next time Hannah applies for credentials. So we ended up getting all three. So we got the general admission tickets, the immediate credentials got approved, and the last thing we found out was that we were on this other special list to get expedited entry. And it turns out that it was right before Trump was supposed to show up and walk down the risers out there and do his little wave thing, which, by the way, my dad caught one of Trump's hats.
That was awesome.
That is cool. That is such a crazy thing that Trump threw it and my dad caught it, which is just pretty ridiculous. So my dad has a Save America. I guess it's not Save America. I don't even know what the hat says. I think it says Save America.
Save America was the rally for sure.
I don't know.
But
special.
But my dad caught that hat, so he has that. But while we're standing there, we were in the bleachers that if you're watching any of these rallies, the setup's almost always the same. And there are usually 3 sets of bleachers that are up behind the president, 1 directly behind him, and then 2 a little bit off to the side. Above the 2 that are off to the side, I don't think the one in the middle had it, are huge screens. Massive, beautiful screens.
Right.
That are like
big, beautiful.
Yes.
Huge.
Yeah, exactly. And we were in the bleachers if you were watching the president to the right. And Hannah says to me, and I was so proud of her too. She's like, I'm going to go down there and see if I can get a better angle, get a better view for a video. And I was like, that a girl? You go do that. And so she goes down there, and the mistake she makes is once she jockeyed for the perfect, you said you were like,
you couldn't have gotten better. I was like, I squeezed my way into the perfect corner.
Yeah.
There was not a better spot in the whole rally than where I was standing.
And your mistake was putting your media pass on.
Yes.
Because we were told, and do you remember being told that? It was in the email.
Yeah, somewhere along the way, but we already had we'd been interacting with security all day. It was fine.
But without our media pass on.
I think I was taking mine on and off all day. I don't know.
So she puts her media pass on, and I thought about this later on. The security guy saw her, and we had literally talked to this guy for minutes earlier, the same guy, about other things. And he sees her, and she's got her media pass on. And the rule is that if you have a media pass, it was like after 3 p.m., you were not allowed to be outside of where the media is supposed to be. With your media pass on, you were supposed to be contained.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Brad was sitting.
Yes.
Like a good little boy.
Baking in the sun.
Yeah. With his new hat on that he bought.
And we did see that same guy after 3 p.m. when I had my media pass on.
Yeah.
Because that's when you and I came back in.
Yeah. And he was clearly not threatened by us. But Hannah was out there, and you put your media pass on, which is the only mistake you made. And he saw you with your media pass on, and media was not supposed to be out there. I've thought about this since then. And the conclusion that I've come to is that since we should have known not to have the media pass on, I think that there's probably a 0 exceptions made for somebody who would be out there who, if they were a nefarious character, somebody who was up to no good or something potentially really bad, jockeying for position in front of the former president of the United States, they might think, I'll get a media pass and I'll get up there. I'll use my media pass to gain access to this position. And I'll wear this media pass so that people will think that I'm allowed to get this close. And so since they have a zero tolerance thing, he sent her packing, but only for like 10 feet.
Yeah.
So it's like he knew that she wasn't a threat, but he had to do his job.
Yeah.
And
I kept telling him, I'm like, check the list. I'm on the list.
Yeah.
Take my media credential. I'm on the list. I'm supposed to be here. And he just, I think he was also like, Trump was like about to walk out.
Yeah.
So he had other things.
Yeah.
Like he was like, get out. I have to do other things. And he didn't want to hear
I wouldn't be surprised either
whining.
if those people are put in positions to be tested,
That's possible.
where there might be situations where security, like just like you have secret shoppers that or even that go to restaurants.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if those people are tested. So he did what he had to do.
He did his job.
Yeah.
I was in fault. He did his job. Learned my lesson.
But he did what he had to do, but he was not threatened by Hannah. And this whole thing was a culmination of Hannah taking advantage of an opportunity and trying to make the most of it. And I still am very proud of you for doing that.
Thank you. I was really trying to get that good angle for everybody, and it just didn't work out. But next time, if we get that opportunity, I will not have my media pass on if I ever get approved again.
G-Whip says, I saw Hannah's pictures in the post office.
What does that mean?
What number was she?
I read that question, or I read that comment for the simple purpose that I don't think she knows what that means.
You don't know about that, do you?
No.
When was the last time you were in a post office, Hannah?
To get my passport in 2020.
So recently. Well, 2020 is 2 years ago. When was before that?
Never.
Was that the first time you were in a post office? Because people don't, like, the FBI's most wanted are always.
Oh, great. Oh, no.
But isn't that kind of one of those things where it's like, that there is a cutoff to people who understand. Like, if you're the FBI's most wanted, you're probably the safest on the wall in a post office. Like, maybe
it's not a great spot to put him, is it?
No, maybe is it still there? Even there,
I haven't been in recently.
I assume as a federal government entity that it's like, why not? But yeah. Brian says Hannah is on the Fed's watch list for sure.
Oh, great.
Think there are any Feds watching the Annie Frey Show on YouTube right now?
AKA Boop.
Here
AKA
she is.
Beanbag.
But you gotta come get her on the show on a Monday or Friday when she's running the show. Because that will make us go viral. That will be good for the show.
I just wanted it for the Instagram in the first place. So.
Yeah. But we got a great story out of it.
We did.
And I complimented the both of you for blending in with my family just like perfectly. You wouldn't have even known that you guys weren't part of the family. It was a crazy, weird trip. I was going on vacation the next day, had not packed yet. It was just super intense, but it was great. And it is a story I will never forget. Stick around. We're going to have Ryan Wiggins back in studio with us here in just a minute. Go vote on that YouTube poll. Are you a Trump Republican? Yes, no, or not a Republican? We'll be right back.
Springtime in St. Louis, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor, Mr. Rob Miller from Harvesttown Auto Body in St. Peters did. He called Rhino Shield. Rob, what was the thought process for going with Rhino Shield as a business owner?
My family's business is over 10,000 square feet, and it did not have the curb appeal I wanted.
Rob, tell everyone how the experience was with Rhino Shield from start to finish.
The process that I liked was when you came out, you gave me all of these options that would fit my building. Our building was really faded. I don't want to have to paint my building again. 25 years is a long time to not have to worry about the outside maintenance of your building as far as paint. That's a no-brainer. That's why Rhino Shield worked for me.
Are your neighbors jealous?
I would be if I was them.
Thanks, Rob. Now it's time to call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. Genius.
No paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
We thought it was over.
Missouri Republican Governor Eric Greitens has just resigned this afternoon.
Scandal after scandal.
Already facing a felony charge, now accused of a second felony.
Now there's more about Eric Greitens.
Former Missouri governor is now accused of spousal abuse and intimidation.
In a sworn affidavit, Eric Greitens' former wife said,
I became afraid for my safety and that of our children due to Eric's unstable and coercive behavior. Physical violence toward our children, cuffing our then 3-year-old son across the face, yanking him around by his hair, a swollen face, bleeding gums, and a loose tooth. He said Dad had hit him. I wanted to protect our children because I was afraid of what Eric would do.
Scandals, felony charges, now physical abuse allegations. That's not conservative, but it's the real Eric Greitens. Paid for by Show Me Values PAC, showmevalues.org, and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Show Me Values PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Attention men. Lately, you've been hearing a lot about wave therapy as a new and revolutionary cure for erectile dysfunction. But did you know the St. Louis Men's Clinic has provided wave therapy since 2017? Wave therapy is a non-invasive, pain-free treatment for ED, but it's not new, nor does it cure ED. In fact, if you've had prostate cancer, wave therapy is not a solution. So before spending too much for a treatment that may not work, call the experienced and knowledgeable staff at the St. Louis Men's Clinic. Their doctors will discuss the available treatment options and develop a customized plan just for you. Get the facts on wave therapy and the treatments for erectile dysfunction. Call the St. Louis Men's Clinic today and schedule a $25 wave therapy session and private consultation. Yeah, that's $25. Call the St. Louis Men's Clinic at 314-828-2600 or visit stlmensclinic.com. Locally owned and operated and a proud partner of the St. Louis Cardinals.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
Celebrating bipartisan gun legislation. I'm Ann Carrick, Fox News. Hundreds gathering at the White House South Lawn.
President Biden celebrated the first major gun legislation approved by Congress in decades.
It's proof that despite the naysayers, we can make meaningful progress on dealing with gun violence.
But the president's remarks were briefly interrupted by the father of a shooting victim urging more action.
I've been trying to tell you this for years.
President Biden says he does remain committed to things like an assault weapons ban.
I'm determined to ban these weapons again and high-capacity magazines that hold 30 rounds.
Republicans who helped pass the latest gun safety measure have said they do not support new limits on weapons.
Fox's Jared Halpern. A huge meth bust at the U.S. southern border.
This massive meth bust took place in San Diego County, and it is now one of the biggest meth busts in that county's history. More than 5,000 pounds of meth. That's 2.5 tons that were found and seized after it was smuggled in 2 trucks through the Otay Mesa port of entry. Thankfully, law enforcement and the feds had eyes on it as it came through. But 4 Mexican men were arrested and charged in this incident. They are each facing between 10 years to life in prison.
Fox's Bill Malugin. Earlier this year, 40,000 fentanyl pills were found in a vehicle in California. An abortion solution is being floated for the Gulf of Mexico.
UC San Francisco OBGYN Dr. Meg Autry proposing a floating clinic for federal waters, thus evading state laws for states including Alabama, Arkansas, Mississippi, Florida, Louisiana, Texas. She suggests women may find it easier to go to the coast and ride a boat to the floating clinic as opposed to traveling to a legal state. The abortion ship in the fundraising stage now through a nonprofit called Protecting Reproductive Rights of Women Endangered by State Statutes or Prowess. Therese Crowley, Fox News.
America's listening to Fox News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
This afternoon shaping up to be the hottest of the work week. Sunny skies, it's hot, it's humid, 94 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear. Temperatures low 90s this evening, 72 for the low on Tuesday. Sunny, slightly less humid, 90 degrees for the high on Tuesday. So much of the afternoon Tuesday in the 80s, keeping it in the 80s Wednesday and Thursday. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Right here, right now.
We are stronger economically than we have been in history.
When you have $5 a gallon gas, the media can't cover that up for Joe Biden. So this transformation of America is hurting real people.
Right here, right now.
We're demanding proof of citizenship and ID when we vote this coming election, which is August 2nd for the primary.
This is 97.1 FM Talk.
LakesideRenovationandDesign.com, the website for you to go visit and see about the home improvement project that has been in your brain. And you've been thinking about it and you've been wondering, where's the best place to go to make this dream a reality? I want to give you a host of reasons why Lakeside Renovation and Design is just that. First of all, don't take my word for it. Go look at the customer reviews. They are glowing when it comes to the customer service. Of course, the overall quality of the product and the transformation that you're going to get from Lakeside Renovation and Design. They have people coming back again and again. Repeat customers at Lakeside, a very, very common thing. They are a St. Louis owned and operated family business. So when you work with Lakeside, you're working with people who are your neighbors. And I'll tell you this as well. The contractors that you can work with all over the St. Louis area, for whether they're working on their own or they work with other businesses, Lakeside Renovation and Design is a destination place for people to work. And the reason is because they offer great quality and wonderful service, and they do it right, and people want to be a part of that. If you're looking for great financing options as well, Lakeside Renovation and Design can help you with the entire process. To learn all about this and more, visit LakesideRenovationandDesign.com.
Feeling the pinch of higher prices?
Golden Oak Lending can save you money with their low fixed rates.
James Hawkins here, president of Golden Oak. You can offset today's high prices by using the low interest equity in your home to pay off credit cards, make home improvements, or simply put cold hard cash back in your pocket.
Start saving money and skip 2 mortgage payments. Call 314-567-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Landing, short my blues.
NMLS 114937.
Hurry in to Mattress Firm's July 4th sale. Get a king bed for the price of a queen or a queen for a twin and save up to $500 on Sealy. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying Sealy purchase up to a $499 value. Or shop Tempur-Pedic, the most highly recommended bed in America, and save $500 on all Tempur-Breeze mattresses and get a $300 instant gift good towards sleep accessories. Only at Mattress Firm. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
Chances are you're jamming in your car right now. And since Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance so you only pay for what you need, Limu and I are going to show you some safe car dance moves. Hit it. Everybody, check your blind spots real quick. Now hands on the wheel. Put them 10 in 2 and move your head like a bird do. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Would you like a cleaning product that can be used in the garage, the laundry, and the kitchen, and save space in your cabinet? Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. To learn more, visit us at simplegreen.com.
We're all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and find your one thing. During summer, be sure to use dishwashers and stoves in the evening to minimize the effects of heat. Join Odyssey, and together, each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
If you use a smart speaker, you can listen to 97.1 easier than ever. Just tell it to play 97.1 FM Talk. Or download the Odyssey app for your phone and stream the station whenever, wherever.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not a married to sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Look like a fool here in this interview.
You look good.
But I put a helmet on because it's a tough interview.
Who's laughing? Who is that with?
It's the reporter. I mean, he was out riding his bike, and whoever it was standing around him. I heard that laugh.
That was an uncomfortable laugh.
I had so many questions about that laugh, and you guys are answering so many just by the way you're responding to it. And by you, I mean you and Hannah. So
women?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you riding your bike, Mr. President?
Oh my God.
Well, I'm gonna have to put my helmet back on. That's a tough question.
It is noteworthy that the percentage of women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line. Women are not without electoral and or political or maybe precise, not and or political power.
I have not heard that before.
Welcome back from vacation. The state of the country is status quo.
What gets lost in that is the message he's trying to convey, which is that women exist and can vote.
But one might follow up with, what's a woman?
And
President?
What did you just say?
Because, like, seriously, wouldn't it not be the very best Peter Doocy question to say, sir, what do you mean by when women vote?
Yes. And look, that's a ridiculous question. But Peter Doocy did not come up with it. That is a societal question now, and therefore must be asked.
That was so bad. That was so bad.
Not comforting.
No.
Women have been voting for over 14 years in this country.
End of quote.
Which is about
Let me say this again.
Long.
Say the line again. Read that line again.
Wait. But it's to be precise.
It is noteworthy that the percentage of women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line. Women are not without electoral and or political or maybe precise, not and or political power.
What? He's not repeating that line.
He said, repeat the line.
Let me repeat the line and then change the line.
He's just reading the teleprompter,
That's
Ryan.
18 seconds. We could probably, how many questions could we list?
We could probably do a full segment on that.
That we would like to have answered based on those 18 seconds.
I would like to know what preceded that quote, because clearly he was referencing other things that he had said, I think. So there's one question. Another would be, what is a woman?
His point, I think, is that women have political power.
Yes.
Which is ironic that the oldest white guy in the country has to tell women that.
Mm-hmm. He has to. Otherwise, you wouldn't hear it. You.
Thanks, Ryan.
You're welcome.
Can we do a mansplaining segment? Can you put together mansplaining so that you can explain things
I
to
might
me?
be able to do that before the end of this.
Fair. Yeah. So I mean, seriously, you listen to some of the things that the people in the woke progressive left, because I will continue to say this: the Democratic Party as a whole is not reflected by the people who are in charge of it right now, and they are losing those people by the day.
I am so glad you just brought that up. There is, when I talk about talking to my liberal friends, there is one guy in particular that I'm pretty good friends with. I only talk to, he lives in Chicago.
You'd be better if he wasn't a Dem.
Well, maybe. we still get along a lot, but we will have if we have enough time together, we will have very serious, long discussions where we'll get a little bit mad at each other. But we're good enough friends to do it.
And
right?
you know that when you start the discussion that it's going to go there, but you still, when you get together, have those discussions.
Yeah. And it's like, do we really? And you can see it coming up and you go, are we really going into this? Both of us will just, we're just talking because we're just friends. So we'll talk. And you ever heard of this app called Signal?
Yeah. Maybe.
It's intended to be one that I guess is more private than a normal text.
Yeah. It's what criminals use.
Yeah. And a friend of mine just moved overseas and he's like, hey, download Signal so I can talk to you. And I'm like, oh, okay, what Signal? And he sent me a message and I downloaded it.
Maybe Ryan's face is on the post office wall too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I realized, this is like for making sure your thoughts are not shared publicly.
Espionage.
And I'm like, I wonder why I thought it was like an overseas thing, like a time difference thing. It was just trying to be more covert. like, well, that's a little weird, my
Which
friend.
is incredible that you're reading it on the air right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah. And so I saw that my friend from Chicago, who actually works for a Democrat politician in Chicago, that's how Democrat he is, was on
How
here.
Democrat is he?
He works for a Democrat politician in Chicago. That's how Democrat he is.
Okay.
He was on here, and I thought, oh, that's funny. And it tells you who's on there. So I messaged him. I said, hey, let's share our secret thoughts in here.
That's so weird. Did you type it in that tone?
I did.
Was there like a kiss face
all
at the
in
end of it?
lowercase, lower. So he knew I was getting deep.
What? I'm disgusted.
So I'm just joking. I'm just joking around with him. I'm like, we should say really inappropriate things in here because nobody will ever know. And he went right to he went right to, hey, you're canceled. And I've become so neutral on a lot of these issues that we're talking about right now. The whole what is a woman thing. He goes, I want to be so neutral on these things, but I almost can't because I don't want to get canceled. He is a Democrat. He works in Democrat political circles at times. Even he is like, this is too far. I didn't even bring that issue up, and he brought it up.
It's because it's not common sense.
Yes.
And I mean, the majority of people, when it comes to the issue of men and women, I will lay it out for you here as clear as I possibly can, that there are men and there are women. There are people who don't want to identify themselves as man or woman. If that is what you are trying to do in your life, I don't have the time or the wherewithal to try to convince you otherwise. I'm not going to spend my time and energy trying to convince you that you are something that you don't feel that you are. And in fact, it doesn't really affect my life what you choose to identify yourself as. But you can step off the hot second that you try to come in and judge me and my life and how I choose to live my life and identify myself, my family, a Christian home in a suburban neighborhood. I happen to be born white. I didn't ask to be white, but here I am being as white can be. Lots of freckles. And I live this existence, and I choose to live in a Christian home and raise my kids to have Christian values. And I happen to be heterosexual, and my husband happens to be heterosexual, and I make zero apologies for any of it. I am living the lifestyle that I choose, and my lifestyle is not a hindrance towards yours. I'm not going to come tell you that if you let me say this the correct way, out of respect, and I mean that sincerely. If you were gender assigned male at birth, but you identify as a female, okay, fine, carry on. But that's a you thing. That is not a me thing. And you can't be so upset by something that happened in your life where it becomes a me thing. If I personally disrespect you, then it's an us thing. And you and I will work that out because of your lifestyle and my lifestyle and the interaction that those two specific things have in common. But my behavior, I don't speak for white people. I don't speak for women because who can, really, honestly? I don't speak for Christians. I don't speak for suburban moms. I'm just Annie. And I'm living the existence that I'm trying to cultivate for my life, for my husband and me to live together, for my kids to be raised in. That's where libertarianism was. That's where libertarianism was after the Democratic Party used to be there. That used to be the liberal mindset. Okay, fine. You want to identify as a man? You want to identify as a woman? You want to identify as neither? Okay, fine. Do you want to identify as, not human? Do you want to identify as whatever you want to? That's you. It's not everybody. You don't speak for anybody other than you. We need to stop giving people the power and authority and the time to speak for anybody other than themselves. And if I were to create, I'm going to speak for me. If I were to create my existence as a way to go out into the world and shame other people for how they choose to live their lifestyle, I'm asking for that to come back on me. And I just am not, because I'm too busy. I got too many things that I'm trying to do in my lifestyle to provide for my own existence to be that worried about it. But don't bring it in on me. Don't push it in on me. Don't push it in on my kids. Do not push it in on my kids, especially when I'm not around them. I will supervise my kids around every corner to make sure that whatever the world, which it's not a new thing, folks, for the world to be trying to get your child's attention to make them believe something outside of what you might want them to believe. That is my responsibility as a parent, to be the eyes and the ears for them as long as I have them. Don't work your way into my lifestyle and start telling me I need to change mine, because I'm not going to. And you can go do you. There's no, like, the people who are in charge of the culture were never given the authority and the power to be in charge of the culture. They just took it, and everybody else was too afraid to stand up and say, I don't really agree with that. And standing up and saying, I don't really agree with that. There are people who don't agree with my Christian white heterosexual existence every single day, but it doesn't get to stop me from living it. And if you don't like it, guess what? I don't require your approval for me to continue living my life in the way that I choose to live it with confidence.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of people in the camp that I don't know if they would call themselves traditional liberals or what they would call themselves, but they're people who for a long time were fine with that barking dog as long as it was on their leash. And it is off their leash now. And now it's, oh my gosh, I trained that dog to be vicious and it is barking at me.
I'm waiting for this analogy to involve pudding.
Well, if you put a bowl of pudding down in front of a dog, it's going to eat it every time. You guys know that.
But what if it's chocolate pudding?
It doesn't matter to a dog.
It's poisonous.
Oh, that's right. But the dog doesn't care. It's on the back end.
But
of the
it'll
dog
still
cares.
eat the chocolate
it'll still
pudding,
eat
and
it.
it'll infect it and harm it and cause tragedy.
Yeah.
Which is
would
why
you
shouldn't
in
put the pudding
Chicago.
in
would you
front of
say
the
that
dog.
the Constitution is chocolate pudding in this scenario?
I thought you were talking about like, whoa,
Huh?
the Constitution.
No, not the Constitution of what comes out.
You know what? In some cases, it might go in one way,
It might come out. Yeah.
come out the other.
This analogy really works in a lot of ways.
And you know what it needed?
What? More pudding?
Pudding. That's how we got there. Yikes. I was like, why would you use that? Oh, you mean like the real capital C Constitution?
Yes.
On the Anti-Fry YouTube live chat poll, you can vote. Are you a Trump Republican? Yes, no, or I'm not a Republican. Would love to hear from you. And I'll say this too. If you vote I'm not a Republican, that doesn't inherently mean you're a Democrat either. I think there are a lot of people who want to have nothing to do with either party. Hannah will give us those results at 2:45. More Anti-Fry Show and maybe a flower story when we come back. I gave you gifts.
Yeah, thank you. I'll be eating those up until the next 3 minutes.
You're going to eat those during the next segment too, aren't you?
Yeah.
We're not out of this one yet. Put them down.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let's go to a break so he can eat his gummy bears. We'll be right back.
And I wait without
This is the Annie Fry Show.
without you.
The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. Decision 2022 is happening. Are you ready to decide? The primary candidates are here because they want to talk to you. Decision 2022. Coverage sponsored by Air Comfort Service and TR Hughes Homes.
Air Comfort Service online, easy to find at aircomfortservice.com. You have been trying to push your way through the super, super hot St. Louis summers, and you want to make sure that you are doing so in your comfort zone. And there's nothing like when it actually ends up hitting you, that heat wave, it sets in, and guess what? Your air conditioner goes out. We've had that happen in our house. And I wanted to go with the people who I trusted to come in and give me the truth and understand, my budget and give me my options. Air Comfort Service does that each and every time. They're also going to tell you the tips and tricks you need to do to make sure that your air conditioner continues to work in good functioning order, which involves maintenance and making sure that things are functioning the way they're supposed to be. I also want to talk to you about the AeroSeal duct sealing. I had this done at my house with Air Comfort Service because we have a 2-story home with a partially finished basement. And the way that the house with heating and cooling on all 3 different floors, drastically different. We'd have to run our air conditioner so much more in the summer to make sure that the upstairs got cool. Air Comfort Service came in and did an AeroSeal duct sealing, which made sure that our ductwork was pushing the air throughout our house much more evenly. And guess what? Saved us in our energy costs pretty significantly. If you are looking for somebody who you trust in the business, the people we trust here on the Annie Fry Show, who I trust in my home, it's Air Comfort Service every time. 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. AirComfortService.com.
Discover your next favorite podcast with the Odyssey app. From Who Done It to How to Do It, we have the biggest podcast for your favorite genre. True crime, history, entertainment, and more. Getting ready for the midterm elections? No matter what aisle you lean towards, we have the podcast for you. From CNN to Fox News to exclusive podcasts from your local station. Find your next binge on the Odyssey app.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Hi, this is Arnold, owner of the Good Feet store. How long have you had sharp pain in your heel or that burning sensation on the bottom of your feet? Do you want to lose weight and exercise, but cannot because of foot, ankle, or low back pain? Many people come to the Good Feet store talking about these same issues. The Good Feet store has helped thousands of customers.
The pain in my foot was so bad I could not walk around for any length of time. I walked in the Good Feet store in pain, and I walked out pain-free.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Deerbergs.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Good Feet. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief to fit any budget. No shots, no surgery, no medication. Come in for a free test walk today.
Recent impacts with inflation, ongoing COVID concerns, and geopolitical conflict have us all and the markets on edge. Heisey Advisory Group understands the importance of having a customized strategy for retirement, especially during uncertain times, to help ensure these concerns don't have an impact on your retirement. Heisey Advisory Group is a St. Louis-based, family-owned and operated holistic retirement planning firm. Our team has defined a process that puts together all the pieces of the financial puzzle, working with all of your service providers to help develop an individualized plan that grows with you as your life changes and your needs evolve. If you're not confident that your retirement plan is on track to deliver the lifestyle you want amid historic levels of uncertainty, call us today at 314-328-6000. Again, that's 314-328-6000.
Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Firm provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through A Wealth Management, LLC.
Mark Cox here. Join me as we head to enchanting Germany to see fairy tale castles like Neuschwanstein and picturesque Bavarian villages, medieval Munich, the world-famous Hofbrauhaus, even Mozart's Salzburg in Austria, too. Join me this fall, $49.49. That includes your airfare. Call 888-733-9494 or go online today to conservativetours.com. That's conservativetours.com.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Ryan wants to get an Annie Frey Show cruise put together.
Mark got one.
I don't know if it's that simple.
That's not
Mark
the
got an
same.
Annie Frey Show cruise.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I don't care what we call it. As long as it is a cruise, I am on it and I'm signing autographs.
You can probably do that on the Mississippi.
Just put him on a kayak.
That's fine. As long as there's people out there just begging me for autographs and pictures. That's really key to me.
We'll see what your kids are doing that day.
Okay. I don't think they care that much.
Have you ever been on a cruise, Anna?
I have not.
Have you, Brad?
No.
Never. I've never been on one.
Would you would like a cruise?
Oh my gosh, yes. Just because of the idea that there's always food.
Why don't you go to an
food.
all-inclusive?
That's what I would do. I would do an all-inclusive cruise where they constantly just keep bringing out lobster tails.
You can do other
Lobster.
all-inclusives that aren't cruises.
Well, maybe I will, Hannah. Maybe I will.
Alrighty.
Thanks for the idea.
Brad, would you like
I
a
am
cruise?
vehemently opposed to cruising.
Really?
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
even in your car?
No, that's not cruising. I mean, like going on a cruise. No, thank you. No, there is 0% of me that likes that.
Seasick?
What are the issues? Ryan might be there.
Signing people's
I mean,
shirts.
that's one of them.
Better like running away.
Yeah.
Leave me alone! I said I don't like
Thank you.
Let go of my shirt.
It'll be more valuable.
Now stop moving so I can sign it.
What?
Yeah, what's the
turns you
problem
off
with the
about
I
cruise?
cruising?
don't like the idea of like, what is it that you do on a cruise that you couldn't do like at an all-inclusive?
Look at the water all around you.
Well,
as
you look at the
float on a
water in
tiny
front of
island.
you.
Sounds like a threat to me, but go
Yeah.
on.
That's kind of the part of the thing. And you remember when the cruise ship broke down and just kind of floated in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico for a couple weeks?
Yeah, the poop cruise.
Yeah, that's terrible. And then there was the Corona cruises where everybody was just boarded up in their tiny little cabins.
That's when I would have gone too. If my wife was like, no, but I would have absolutely gone on those cruises when they first opened back up and everybody was afraid. That's the time to go.
No, I mean,
You
whenever
would be
it
the
first
worst
hit-
person to be on a cruise with at that time.
Well, yeah,
You
because
would
there would
be-
be nobody else there and I'd just be bothering
You
you.
would be unwilling to participate in any precautions.
Oh gosh, yes. You're right.
The other 6 people that were there would be the supreme 6 Karens of the
Yeah.
world. The COVID were there to ensure that everything was done right.
Yeah.
And there'd be you. You'd be
I'd be
uncontainable.
Waking them up at
on a
7.
ship.
Shuffleboard time again. There's
Walk-
only 6 of us.
walking
You gotta
around
play.
doing his cough thing that he does all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
Have you gone on a cruise?
No.
Would you?
It's not my thing. I've been exposed to cruising a little bit more in the last year or 2 than I normally would have before. I've on YouTube and stuff, I've seen people who've gone on cruises and it does look really nice. But the idea of being on a big ship in the middle of the ocean
Mhm.
is not appealing to me.
Nope.
You know how you don't die by shark?
You just
By
stay
not going
you
in
stay
the
in
ocean.
Missouri.
You stay in the land. Yeah. I'm probably missing out. My husband really wants to. So I feel like it might happen at some point in my life. He also really wants to go to Alaska. And
Me too. It sounds fun.
So we've talked about the merging of the Alaskan cruise as a fine.
Mhm.
2 birds, 1 stone.
So you said you haven't done one.
No.
Man, I've heard great stories about Caribbean ones that they go to different little spots.
Mm-hmm.
And that sounds like fun.
That's why I would want to do a cruise, is to go
I'm-
to a ton of different places in one trip.
I've never been to Mexico or the Bahamas. I've never done any of that. I was on a church cantata trip that crossed the northern border into Canada for maybe 48 hours. And that's the only time I've ever left the country.
Wow. Really? That's it. The only time I've ever been to Mexico was on my honeymoon. And they told us it was the first time I had ever been out of the country. So I was really looking forward to seeing what it was like. And I don't Hannah,
Did you
to
get
answer
a
your
bargain
question.
deal on your Mexico trip?
No. I mean, this was my honeymoon. So this was going to be like a real trip because I had never been out of the country either. So this was going to be it. And to answer your question, Hannah, all inclusive, we didn't really want to do that because my wife and I really like meeting people and doing weird food and experiencing the culture wherever we go, even if it's within the United States. So we went to a place called Mazatlan. You ever heard that? Yeah, you and nobody else. Because the travel agent goes, oh, it's really up and coming. I'm like,
Do you know what
sold.
up and coming means?
Up and coming.
Not arrived.
Especially
Yeah.
on the west coast of Mexico, means it is not there yet. There was nothing there. It was just a town. And I guess they had a beach. So like we went to the beach a little bit, but
That's where you stayed?
we were in Mazatlan the whole time. Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
No.
Was it safe?
Well, we thought it was safe, but then when we went to the airport upon leaving, we realized, we had to go through several checkpoints to get out, and we saw a whole lot of military-style men and guns. And I'm like,
Ryan!
we're safe because those guys are here.
Have you made this good for your wife?
Oh yeah, we've taken some trips after that. But
Just the 2 of you
That's
inclusive?
the one time we've ever been to Mexico, and I was like,
Because
okay,
I'm thinking of a Friday poll.
what's that? What is the next one?
Uh-huh.
Should Ryan take his wife to Mexico?
Oh man, okay,
In
that's
a
fine.
Don't you kind of want
better
that to come?
area.
Kinda,
You're like, we got to do it for the show, Miss.
yeah, and that would give me excuse to say to the higher ups here, I got to do this for the show. I don't even want to go, but I got to go on vacation now.
Is that how you talk?
I'm like, yeah, when do we have those meetings?
So last Friday we did a poll. Each day we do a live chat poll. Today's is, are you a Trump Republican? Yes, no, or I'm not a Republican. And if you go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and look in the live chat, it's right there. And our Friday poll last week was, should Ryan buy his wife flowers? And you said, you volunteered, if the poll got 200 votes total, one way or the other, that you would go do it.
Well, yeah,
Period.
Well, yeah.
That's the story, right?
Well, if it was over 200 total votes and the majority was yes.
No, you didn't say that.
Regardless, it happened.
It was
so it doesn't matter.
87%
Yeah,
yes.
it happened,
But that
it
wasn't
didn't
part.
matter.
You said 200 votes.
So it happened. So I got home, and I don't know if one of you told me or if my conscience told me, hey, you know what? You went straight home and you didn't go to Schnucks to get the flowers. So I just had to stand up in the middle of sitting there with my family and go, I gotta go. And they're like, what? I'm like, I
When you
forgot
say-
something.
With your whole family?
Yeah, my whole family was there in the
Was
living room.
Mrs. Wiggins there?
Yeah, we were all sitting there.
And you just said, hey, I gotta go?
I was smoking my pipe, little fire going. Had my slippers on even by the time, and the kids were just playing at our feet with their little blocks. And I said, now hang on a second. I forgot something. I have to leave. That really did happen. I just stood up and said that. And she
Why
said,
didn't
what?
you go on the way home?
Where? I forgot. And she said, where are you going? I'm like, no, I forgot something. Like that was the answer she was looking for the second time. And because I was saying it so with confidence and just leaving, she didn't have a chance to ask me again. So then once I got back home, she really lit up. I'll give you credit. She lit up when she realized that I was going to get her flowers. And she said, did the show make you do this?
And you said what?
And I said, yes,
You
they
said,
did.
no, the people made me.
Well, okay. I did. Well, she gets a huge kick out of knowing that there are however many tens of thousands upon thousands of people that are voting
Investing
in her getting flowers.
Yeah.
She gets a
We
so
could
it's not
we could up the game. Last time this happened, I texted her. I'm like, what else do you want?
yeah, no kidding. So it's not just the flowers.
Yeah.
It's the tremendous amount of public pressure that I'm under.
Mhm.
She really gets a kick out of that.
Mhm.
So kudos to you. Because that's
and
how
you.
Apparently, no, the problem is that now that's raised the bar to where it's not just, oh, I'm thinking about you, I got you flowers. Now it's is there a backstory behind this?
Well, which is your greatest fear? Because
Exactly.
you said from the very beginning that your goal as a husband was to set the bar as low as possible.
Yes. And then constantly be raising it a little bit at a time. And then
Until
the
you die.
expectations go, yeah, exactly.
And by the time you die, it's
Yeah.
at like standard level husband
Yeah.
expectations.
We're never going to be pole vaulting. This is stuff you could do from the
We're
ground.
pole vaulting.
No.
You're gonna be buying some pretty nice things at your 50th wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been married?
2007. So whatever the math is.
15 years.
15.
This fall.
Yep. 15 years.
Because once again, listen to me carefully. We both got married in September 2007, just not to each other,
Mm-hmm.
to other people.
So that's why I rely on you to tell me what our anniversary is.
Mhm. So
What year
is
it is.
Let me guess. Is yours September 8th?
Nope.
10th?
August.
August?
Mhm.
Your birthday September?
My birthday is September
Same thing.
16th.
16th?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've known this, but that's like the first time I've ever heard that.
You've known this, yet we're surprised.
I've celebrated your birthday with you and given
Mhm.
you things, but our anniversary is mine. My anniversary is the 15th of September, so I feel like I should know that
Mm-hmm.
and have that in my brain.
Pretty close.
Pretty close. So what's next?
So next, I have to, at some point after this topic has died down. So here's the thing. We got to let this topic die now. because we have to just let it go. And then randomly, I have to be at the checkout line and be like, oh, I will buy those flowers
Mhm.
so that she
You know
doesn't.
when it would be super surprising to give her flowers?
No, I don't.
Today.
No, because then she'll ask me to talk about it on the show. And I'll say, yes, we did talk about it on the stupid show. So, no.
Stupid show.
Yeah.
What?
No.
That's
No,
why you
so I
buy those
can't.
flowers, sir.
I can't do that. I can't do that today. But I will. Now you have forcefully raised the bar
Mhm.
to where now I have to do that.
Mhm.
And I
It's a good
fully
thing.
blame you for this
Mhm.
because now, oh, it's Valentine's
Blame,
Day.
credit.
It's a holiday. It's something. Oh, am I going to get flowers? She never even thought that before. Now she's thinking about it all the time.
I've got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So like, are we doing the right thing by forcing him to buy flowers? Because I know there's a tremendous upside to him buying flowers, but now we're setting a precedent. And now if he doesn't buy flowers, she's going to be disappointed.
I don't think she's.
Now hold on, and hear me out. If she doesn't buy flowers, then she's going to be disappointed. So are we introducing the opportunity to cause strife in Ryan's marriage by saying he should buy flowers and then creating that precedent.
You should fully understand, as an independent, conservative-minded individual, that that's on Ryan, not on us, to set the expectations. And
which he had set.
Mm-hmm. He had set.
Yeah.
Which were really low.
Yeah. He was doing a good job. They were going up just a little bit every year.
Good job for you. You said that her face lit up when she saw the flowers.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good
but
thing.
the same way as my daughter would light up if she saw that I had bought her a pony. But then every Christmas from then on out would be terrible.
It was that easy. And no, you're wrong.
No, I'm right.
Your daughter isn't gonna. First of all, pony. Second of
It's
all,
a little bit extreme.
if you get a great gift for Christmas, as somebody who is receiving the gift, specifically if something as simple as flowers, you don't compare every future gift to the last gift that you got. Everybody gets great gifts and in over the course of their time, and still gets smaller, simple reminders that the people in your life have been thinking of them. And the gift doesn't even have to be purchased. It could be made, it could be written, it could be something as simple as a text that doesn't, if you're, I don't know, married for 15 years like my husband and I are, you get into the point where like your entire communication is a list of to-dos and checkboxes. So little things like this, this all started was random acts of kindness, like way back when we were talking about just doing nice thing for people for no particular reason. And I even said when we did that day, like, don't do anything extravagant. Like, that's the point. This needs to be incredibly accessible and replicatable, so that anybody can do something like this and just show that even those most simplest things go such a long way. That if you were to, and we pick on Ryan in this circumstance, this is something that my husband does do for me that I really appreciate. But then sometimes we do kind of get away from treating each other like human beings who also have our own particular, I guess the word is, needs in a world that is moving so fast paced when you got kids at home and you got jobs and school starting up and all that stuff, to stop and like see somebody and just appreciate them. We don't appreciate, and humans don't appreciate humans the way they should. And it's, I think, a cause of a huge amount of our problems.
Yep.
My goal is to be a cause of a huge amount of your problems.
That's working. Look,
no, it's not. Your wife is happy. Happy wife, happy
really
life.
good at explaining and using the words.
Did you hear about the Diamond Shop? They came on and sponsored the show.
Yeah, and I think I know where that's going.
Clayton.
Yeah.
He's like, stop it right now.
Actually, I'm not gonna. I shouldn't say that.
Fair enough.
She could use a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a
From
sale
you?
until the end of July.
I don't know.
Right?
From you,
Maybe
or
from her other husband. We'll have to
Use
see.
a new wedding
She
ring.
comes home with a ring one day. I'll know.
Yeah, and you'll be like, yeah, that one's
Where'd you
better.
get that?
Did I have to pay for that? No.
No.
Did you use your allowance? No.
Guess I should have bought her flowers.
Yeah. I should have bought her more flowers.
Every time just think, every time you buy random flowers for your wife to tell her you love her, you got like 3 months out of those.
Yeah. I'm keeping a faithful wife for 3
Put
months.
it on your calendar.
I'm actually going to put that in the card with the flowers every time.
This works for 3
Guarantee
months,
me
right?
3 months of fidelity.
Please sign here. Your wife is a lovely woman. That is not fair. Oh my gosh. We'll come back with the results of the YouTube live chat poll on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. And if you haven't yet, you can go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel. You need to subscribe to the YouTube channel because I just uploaded the video that Ryan took of himself in a very kind of like angry, did people see you filming this?
I actually tried to do that in the Frozen section, but there were too many darn people around.
Let it go.
Yeah.
That one?
No, not that Frozen.
The kids were like, dude, you're going to need to get over this.
I almost had it. And then this one old guy came meandering through, and I'm like, man, this guy's going to take a long time. So I was winning the lobby.
People know that there are other people in schnooks. It's not like you have to pretend.
But I was going to do this video. So it's going to be weird.
It's weird anyway.
People watching me.
It's you.
I did it in the lobby, and then a lady did walk in during the middle of
You
it.
kind of looked to the side,
Yeah,
and I
like,
could tell he was like, "Oh, I'm embarrassed now. I got to get out of here." All right, stick around. Go watch the video we just uploaded to YouTube of him being all grouchy. But we do know the end of that story is a happy one. Stick around. We'll be back in just a minute.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show. The Mark Cox Morning Show.
There are rumors floating around out there that the Supreme Court, they're about to announce that they're going to reinstate Donald Trump as president of the United States. That is not going to happen. If that happens, I'll resign my job tomorrow.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
Mark Reardon, Mark Cox, and myself going to be with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, the Retirement Advisory Group, coming up on August 2nd, right after you go vote in the Missouri primary. Come join us at 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday, August 2nd at the Frontenac Hilton. There is limited seating, but I want to see you there. I love this event because I get to meet so many people. We fill the room, and it's the biggest room they have there, so it's not like you're sitting on top of each other. But you get to hear what Thomas Helbig has to say about how you can protect your retirement, especially when you've worked so hard to accumulate what you want to be able to live off in retirement. You're not looking for anyone else to come in with a parachute and try to save you or to try to make sure that your retirement is going to be provided from someone else. You've done this for yourself. You've sacrificed along the way. And Thomas Helbig can tell you exactly what you need to do to protect it so your retirement is worry-free. August 2nd, it's a Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. at the Frontenac Hilton. This is where you need to go to listen to what he has to say and also meet Mark and myself. Reserve your spot at 314-993-9494, 314-993-9494. You can go online to retirementkey.com.
If your business has accounting problems, you probably have tax problems. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm in St. Louis. Running a small business is tough, and it's no surprise that companies that don't keep good books often run into tax issues. If you don't fix your accounting problems, you could be doomed to land in the same tax pitfalls every year. Call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I can help you get out of tax trouble and stay out. If your small business doesn't have a CPA or accountant, I can help you find one. And if you already have one, I work closely with them to resolve your tax problems quickly. Make no mistake, if the numbers don't add up, the IRS will catch it. Fix your accounting and tax problems before they snowball with help from the Lance Drury Law Firm. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to lance.drurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
AAMCO.
I'm Nick Schroer. The woke left is trying to destroy America by taking away our rights, defunding the police, and indoctrinating our children into socialists. This is not the America our founding fathers envisioned. I'm fighting them. And with your help, we can take America back. I backed the blue 100% and fought to give police the tools they need to keep our families safe. I helped pass the Second Amendment Preservation Act to ensure Joe Biden and his cronies can't take guns away from law-abiding citizens. And last year, I opposed raising the gas tax.
Nick Schroer sponsored Missouri's pro-life trigger law, ensuring we would be the first state in the country to ban abortions after Roe v. Wade was overturned. He sponsored the Parents' Bill of Rights, which would ban radical ideologies like critical race theory in our schools. And as our state senator, Nick Schroer will protect girls' sports from boys who want to pretend to be girls. Nick Schroer, an American First conservative, paid for by friends of Nick Schroer.
Join Mosby Building Arts every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. on 97.1 FM. Rich Orse and guests give insider tips about renovations, design, construction, exteriors, and more. Tune in to Right at Home with Rich on Saturdays or catch the podcast online.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Get your HVAC system ready for summer with a cooling system check included with all maintenance plans from Air Comfort Service. Maintenance plans start at $15 per month. To get into your comfort zone, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Back in the car and back on the road. We're with you. Dependable traffic with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
25 years and my life is still trying to get up that great big hill of hope for a destination. I realized quick.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. I do have confirmation over the break that, and I quote, tell Wiggins that the diamond shop will be easy on him. And that's from Tom from the diamond shop.
Nice. Thanks, Tom.
They're waiting for you.
That's great. Thanks.
Yeah, you can become a VIP by going to thediamondshop.net right now, Wiggs.
I will. I'll walk in with some, entrance music. Be like, I'm here. Here we go.
VIP.
Yeah, a VIP.
You've always wanted to be VIP.
Yeah, I'll just walk in. I'll start signing all their jewelry.
It's going to be so expensive.
The value of all of it shoots up like it's a Picasso.
Wiggins collection.
We were just talking about this show. I got this midday show the week of my birthday, and you said you started on this show.
I got hired at Odyssey the week of my birthday.
Okay, and then you said your first Wiggins America was on your birthday.
Yeah, last year, Wiggins America, my first show.
And what about you, Brad?
It wasn't. Not even.
He got a high five.
He said on the break, he goes, I started in September.
Yeah.
Like September 7th, and my birthday was August 12th. So.
Yeah.
It's not that far away.
But it's not.
You're probably doing the interview process during that.
They're neighbor months.
They're neighbor months.
Yeah.
Exactly. Neighbor months.
That's what you tell kids. This is how I think. When Jared, don't tell the kids to go outside real quick.
Yeah. Honey, you do the same.
When you're I'm gonna talk about y'all. When you have children in the house and they're starting to melt down because really they're super tired. Do your kids turn into different people when they're super tired?
Mm-hmm.
You start just making crap up like you've never made up crap before to get to the point where they're in bed.
Oh yeah.
And you'll be saying stuff and you'll be like really impressed with the crap that you can come up with.
Yeah.
Just to get to the point where the kids are like, okay, sweetie, that's right. Go to sleep.
Just last night, we said, you guys, school is coming up in like a month and a half. We need to get into a different schedule. And they were like, oh yeah, I guess so.
We gotta practice going to bed early.
Yeah, that's what we said.
You know why? Because this morning, my 6-year-old is going with my mother-in-law and her cousin tonight to see Mary Poppins at the Muni.
Cool.
I've never been to the Muni before. Have you all been to the Muni?
Yep.
Yeah.
I went to the Muni. It was so hot that I left.
I was gonna say, I love that you have a qualified story.
Yeah, always.
I've never been. I would like to go, but I don't really want to go steep in the seats. At the Muni.
Steep. You don't want like tea.
Yes.
Like a fine tea.
Yes.
You don't want to sit in the seats and drop your sweat into them.
When Brad, you put together the mansplaining segment, you can have this be part of it where he mansplains to me what I just said on the air.
No, I was trying to understand.
You were getting there?
Steeping. Okay, got it.
Exactly.
Got it.
Steeping. I have to remember where I was going with this. So my 6-year-old daughter walks into my bedroom this morning at about 7:30 in the morning. And she says, I was thinking, I need some help getting dressed, but since Grandma's going to come pick me up to see Mary Poppins at the Muni tonight, that maybe you could just take me to her house now so she doesn't have to come get me later.
That's great, though.
I know. It's like so important to her.
That's great.
And I was laying there and I was like, okay, go get dressed. I just set her off and she didn't come back.
Are you ever as excited for anything as you are up until you're about 13 years old?
You take it down even to like 6 or 7.
Well, maybe for you.
There's a certain, and then I grew up.
Yeah, because I didn't.
I was 8. Yeah. Wait, when you're a small child, time is measured in days. Like this just happened just this weekend. Evelyn has unicorn cake boxes and decorations that she was given for her birthday in May, and I said we would make it after we got back from vacation. Because I was doing my super strict diet and I said, I would rather wait until we're done. We'll make it and then we'll eat some of this cake. And so she's been asking about, and then when we get back, like we were going on vacation for a week to Florida and that's all exciting. But when we get back, we're going to make the unicorn cake. Like it was
she
in
stuck to
her
it, huh?
head.
Yeah.
They don't forget.
And
some things they do though. Some of random ones they'll grab onto like
not stuff like making a cake that she got for her birthday. And she said to me this weekend, Saturday, she's like, I was thinking today that maybe we could make that unicorn cake. And I just thought to myself, like, all I was thinking about doing today was resting. Mm-hmm. and you think about baking a cake today, like that would be a huge event for her. And for me, it's like, okay, I can make this happen and get this done so that she's happy. Oh, so we ended up making a Texas sheet cake instead of the unicorn cake because I wanted to give her the opportunity to decorate the whole thing, and we didn't have the time to do that. But it's just like it hit me that like kids, like you're saying, they measure this space of time in maximum of days. So when you say school's a month and a half, that is an infinite amount of time to small children.
Yeah, to small children. Although, do you remember when you started getting older? I would record this based on my magazine subscriptions because I get random things to read over the summer. If I got the July one, I'd go, summer's almost over. I would start to dread it.
I'm already thinking Christmas is like literally right around the corner, and people tease me about saying that, but it literally will be Christmas just like that. Like Christmas will be here. We'll be hearing Christmas music and seeing Christmas decorations. It'll almost happen in a blink of an eye.
Speaking of which, Christmas is huge in our house. We are just a big Christmas family. My extended family is too. The problem is we do get a lot of gifts and it's fun, but it's just like the sheet cake thing. When you get gifts that you have to assemble, they're intended to be, a loom or something that's going to eat up a couple hours for the kid. That ain't just for the kid.
No,
it's for you.
Like my biggest. If I'm ever president, the first thing I'm going to ban, is that what we do as president?
Yeah, it's what you do.
Is kids menus that have games on them.
Mm-hmm.
Those are not being done by the children. I'm sitting here and I'm hungry and I need a minute to breathe and I'm doing word searches. Why? Because the child next to me who was given 2 crayons and a piece of paper and doesn't know their letters yet needs to finish the freaking word search.
I don't know if you're going to win on that platform.
Oh my gosh. Coloring.
I don't know. They've turned parents into a voting block. So
they have. Yeah. Now women vote all the time. Did you hear that?
Women?
Mm-hmm. Joe Biden said that.
All right, let's get to the YouTube poll. Are you a Trump Republican? The only natural place to go next in the YouTube live chat poll. Hannah, take it away.
All right. The poll question, are you a Trump Republican? Yes, no, or not a Republican? 70% of the people voted that yes, they are a Trump Republican.
Wow, 70%.
That's wild.
23% of the people said no, they are not. And 7% voted that they are not a Republican.
What do people say?
And we have some comments coming in. Mike G from YouTube says, I'm a Trump Republican because I loved his domestic and foreign policies, the best we've had for decades.
Mike G from the Beastie Boys.
Jackie from YouTube says, I like Trump policies. I don't like how he reacts to things sometimes. He likes himself a lot too. Brandon from YouTube says, I'm a Republican. I thought Trump generally had a solid policy, but my political identity does not revolve around the man. He has hurt himself many, many times by running his mouth. Janine from YouTube says, I'm not completely sure what you mean by a Trump Republican. I'm not an ultra MAGA Trumper, but I voted for him twice and would vote for him again. However, I would prefer to have a DeSantis ticket. Becky from YouTube says, I voted for Trump twice and would do it again, but I'm not a Trump Republican. I'm for sensible, fiscally responsible, non-establishment candidates like Ron DeSantis. James from YouTube says, I'm a quote Trump because of his policies, and he was definitely the better of the evils. I'm a Republican because conservative is not an option at the poll.
That's interesting. And a lot of those people are saying the same thing, which is basically that like Trump has the ability to not get out of his own way, but still what has made Trump change the Republican Party so much is so desirable.
Yeah, just like people would still now call themselves a Reagan Republican.
Yeah.
I think even beyond Trump, people will call themselves a Trump Republican.
Isn't it funny to think of Reagan Republicans and Trump Republicans?
They're a different thing.
As people, but policy-wise, pretty much locks down.
That's true. That's very
Stick
true.
around, the Mark Reardon Show coming up next.
Think I'm pretty with these old boots
Finding
on.
great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job